Every single time, every single crime, every single lie, early lie. Every single hour, every single day, every single night, early lie. I know it's hard to believe it's the whole forest, not one tree, and it's every branch and leaf. They're born to deceive, but I'm telling you the truth. It's not just one or two, it's every single Jew. They all hate you, and it really breaks my heart. But their lies are off the charts, and they only bring us harm. You gotta get smart. So if you want to be safe and don't want to get replaced, it's best you start being based, or you'll get erased. Every single time, every single crime, every single lie, early life. Every single hour, every single day, every single night, early life. I know it's hard to accept that all the ones you've met lie with every single breath. They want you dead, but you must not be weak. Just open your eyes and see they always exploit the meek. See their vampire teeth, and it can make you cry to learn your life was full of lies and their face was a disguise. But you must fight. So if you want to live and protect all of your kin, you have to grow thick skin, or we won't. Every single time, every single crime, every single lie, early life. Every single hour, every single day, every single night, early life.
It's not my fault that I have to do this. You only pick on me because I'm Jewish. Stop being a jealous loser and go get a job. I can do what I want because I'm chosen by God. If I don't run your media, someone else will. If I don't edit Wikipedia, someone else will. If I don't limit your reach, someone else will. If I don't
the juice or is it really me? Tell me the truth so I can be set free. What do you see when staring back at your reflection? Are you proud or ashamed? Do you claim to see perfection? The mirror does not lie, yet you have the wrong answer. You're a liar that demands respect. Such arrogance is cancer. You lie like a Jew to comfort your troubled soul. Afraid of taking responsibility, refusing to grow old. You need to wake up, you still think this is a game. Why would anyone fear a child who's afraid of names?
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's responsible for it all? Is it the Jews or is it really me? Tell me the truth so I can be set free. Mirror, mirror on the wall,
You niggas know what time it is, baby. Let's go!
it all. Is it the Jews or is it really me? Tell me the truth so I can be set free. Who put the golden cuffs on you if not yourself? Who offered up their risk for promises of comfort and wealth? But you know they are lies, fantasies that keep you in place. The lies that you repeat, which help enslave your race. Nobody respects a coward, no one kneels to a boy. No playtime for you, go to your room, you little goy. Want to be free, I'll tell you what to do. Next time you look in the mirror, accept the damn truth.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Who's responsible for it all? Is it the Jews or is it really me? Tell me the truth so I can be set free. Mirror, mirror
DJ Gates now, let's go. You guys know what time it is. Let's go!
for it all. Is it the Jews or is it really me? Tell me the truth so I can be set free.
Down the Marco. All right, we are live. What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. We are live. Let's see here. Let me read some of these chats first. Walata says, Assalamu alaikum, Myron. What's your opinion on the Israeli angle of the murder they're calling Nick an Israeli shell now? Because don't you think all the firings and cancellation of Jimmy shows double standard freedom of speech? We'll talk about that today. Yeah, anyone that's calling Nick an Israeli shell is an idiot. Sukit says, subscribe. Welcome to the OSS Pro. Guys, I'm still running my promo for $1. If you guys want to jump in, I think we're going to hopefully finish the Empire Unmasked tonight or tomorrow, the latest, which we're going to definitely finish it this week. And then once we finish it, we are going to end the promo. So get it while you guys can. Lift Waf says, I'd like to pledge to the ranks of the SS 300 Army. Sure. It's going to be under $100, guys, monthly. And honestly, dude, it's just me building a very core group of guys where I can rely on them for certain things, right? And I'm going to be in that Telegram group, like, for real, because I'm going to be giving content ideas on there, revealing stuff early, merch ideas, all that type of shit. So you're basically going to be like a, you're going to be basically a close advisor. You're going to be working alongside me and Brett damn near directly with what we do, okay? Like, when we got plans or ideas or whatever, we'll talk with y'all, right? And see what you guys think, etc. We're going to travel somewhere, stuff like that. You guys are going to be the first ones to know. With these campus stuff, with these campus appearances, I won't be able to be as public about it for the time being, but that group will know. Does that make sense? That group will definitely know. So that's what it's about. It's about having a core group of guys that you know, are more intimate, way more intimately involved with process and everything else like that. Brett's gonna teach some of you guys how to clip so you guys can make money on the side. Just shit like that. You guys are gonna help me research, like that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like having a real, think of it as like an elite unit within the army, right? That's what it's gonna be. And then everybody else, obviously, you know, you guys, the OSS Army in general is fucking gonna be lit, but this is gonna be like the SF portion. Okay, thank you for that lift though. Brett's we'll put it out on Monday. Ian, hey Myron, going to court tomorrow for an eviction issue. It's literally over paperwork issues. I've always paid rent on time, never been problematic. Recertification was in February. Sent what was necessary. I needed to send one more thing, and I asked them what months of statements they needed. Never responded. Now in September, they're taking me to court. What the fuck? I'm confident I have proof, and I tried complying, and it's them being negligent. Am I still responsible when I fault? Also, do's and don't for court. So, if you paid, bro, they can't do shit to you. Okay? And this is actually specifically why when I was a landlord, let's say I had a tenant that I didn't like and I wanted them out, I would not take their rent. So if you paid, dude, they can't do shit, bro. That's weird. That's weird. I need a little bit more information, though. Skilliam, Martin, thoughts on the Sinclair Broadcasting Group's tweet about Jimmy Kimmel? We're going to talk about Jimmy Kimmel, don't worry. Bro, IC's response time takes longer than the damn DFE. If it's over a month that I've tried to get a package for you, pause. Okay, let me message her right now, bro. Give me 1 sec. I will literally message her right now. Shout out to Robin Kobe with the gifted sub on Kick. I'm literally messaging her right now for you, bro. See, that's the beauty of OSS. When you guys message me on OSS, I see all the chats come through and I you know, interact with y'all directly. That's one of the best perks, guys, of joining OSS. It's, you know, $10 a month, super cheap. You support the mission. We stave off the demonetization from JTube, which, by the way, we're going to talk about that, bro. It's coming, guys. I was 100% right. I gave a full analysis yesterday of why we are going to get cooked very soon when it comes to this censorship shit. And I read an article yesterday. It's coming, bro. Okay. And then Icy, it's been in your PO box for damn near 2 weeks now. She says picking up tomorrow. Please open up on stream, but remember, not on YouTube. Okay, Trippy. Okay. Oh, and then I got the PO box here. Okay, I got the PO box also. Okay. I got you, brother. I just messaged her now, so she'll probably bring it tomorrow. All right, Crash Out Myron. Myron, look at the David rapper. He groomed an 11-year-old and then killed her, found in the trunk of his car while he's on tour. What the fuck? I did see something about this on Instagram, actually, now that I think about it, bro. Now that you're mentioning it. Went missing a year ago. Bro, people are sick, bro. What the fuck? I don't want to listen to this nigga's bullshit ass music. All right, well, let me cue that up. All right, I got it saved. Okay. Camp Cook, Martin, you saw a post on X of Tyler's leaked text messages? I think I did. Guys, I literally just woke up. But send me a link to it. I think I might have saw, like, Suleiman posted or some shit. Camp Cook. DHL says, is there anyone we can follow on X and keep up what's going on inside of Iran? If so, can you drop the handle, please? I'm going to talk about Iran a bit today. We're going to talk about the, you know, because here's the thing, bro. This Charlie Kirk stuff has completely overtaken the news. No one's been paying attention. They've been destroying Gaza the past week. And best believe, shout out to T Freddy with the gifted sub on Rumble. Best believe, guys, after they wrap up their campaign in Gaza, they are absolutely going to attack Iran again. That's inevitable. That is inevitable. That war is coming, boyos. So Alf says, got the same hoodie on, just got it today. PS new merch. Yes, new merch is coming out on Monday. Me and Brett got a new concept for you guys. And we're gonna be dropping new merch every month, guys. Like I said, this month, guys, was crazy because we were planning to do a lot of this stuff last week, but we didn't. Between, obviously the tragic shooting of Charlie Kirk, we're supposed to go to North Carolina. Everything got pushed back a week. We're supposed to do the 9/11 stuff. That took us longer because of all the coverage. So everything has effectively been pushed back like 1 to 2 weeks now because of that. But every month, guys, we're going to try to do a merch drop for you guys. So you guys get, new stuff. Obviously, this is the Cookie Monster one. Real niggas know what this means. But you're able to wear it in public, right? So the goal is like we make merch that you guys, it looks clean, it's cool, it's minimalist, Nike, good quality, but you can wear it publicly, and if you know, you know, right? But if you don't know, ain't nobody gonna be wondering like, oh, what the fuck? So, yeah. Speculate says, shout out to Project Ratio in the Telegram chat, ready and able to discuss ideas for future shows. Yes. Yes, like obviously if you guys are in the regular OSS, there's a Telegram group in there for you guys to network with each other, right? I'd be in there a little bit too sometimes, just kind of like seeing what's going on. But the Telegram group that we're gonna make with the OSS 300, I'm gonna be in that bitch. Like if I got an idea, right? And Brett will tell you guys this, I get random ideas pop in my head all the time. I'll message y'all, hey, what do you guys think about this? Hey, what do you guys think about this? Right? Also, when you guys send me stuff in there, I'm gonna actually like look at it. You know what I mean? So basically, it's an elite force. Okay. Hey, Myron, do a backflip, nigga. I can't. I'm old. OSO says, in the 300, will you show us how to be streamers like you? Yeah, I could give you guys stuff. Yeah, I could teach you guys how to do shit like that. Yeah. Yeah. J Men says, just joined today. Welcome to the OSS. YouTube Ninjas, he has a picture of a brokey. Okay. Alejandro Ramirez, did you see the photo of Candace obtained at 6 p.m. after the shooting? She revealed the photo not even released by law enforcement. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I'll take a look at that. Valhalla Patel, you guys are making fun of him. What more do you want to know from Ian? Cam Cook says, the Suleiman status. Okay. Thank you for the, I think this is a text message thing that you sent me. Let me have this queued up as well. Okay, here's the text messages. All right, I got it. His music is an important part of the story. Seems he's explaining most of his crime through music. Okay, from Crash Out Myron. Mr. Mikey says, hey, Myron, any chance we'll hear from your opinion on the Saudi Arabia-Pakistan Mutual Defense Agreement? Yes, I actually tweeted about this yesterday. Let me go ahead and pull up that tweet right now. Let's start off with politics. It's been a minute since we've spoken on some of this shit. What up, brother? OSS 300, let's fun go. I appreciate you, my friend. Naval Aviator says, God put you here to do what you're doing. Keep going, and don't let these cigarettes, I'll call it that way, British cigarettes, stop you. Stay safe out there. Thank you very much, bro. Appreciate that. King Michael says, what up, Myron? OSS 300, let's fun go. Yeah, bro. It's going to be the 300 crew. It's going to be the special forces, basically, of the OSS Army. Speculate SC. Would love to see a segment of OSS where Bill teaches how to set up streams, ultimate layout for a movement. Yeah, that we won't do that. That'll be behind, we'll have to do that for a course or some shit. Martin, I want to be your SoCal contact with regards to the 300 group, your Kick Ninja. Thank you, Robin Kobe. I appreciate you. Yeah, dude, when we drop the link, join up, dude, and it's going to be great. The first thing I'm going to do when I release the OSS 300, I'm going to figure out where all you ninjas live. And that way I can kind of map out how we move. And like I said, the dues aren't going to be that expensive. Under $100 a month. I know you said you will talk about Iran, but a lot of Iranians seem to hate Islam and their government. So do you believe one day there will be an overthrow of the government? As long as Israel's around, no. You seen the Catch Me Outside chick crush on her baby daddy? Cooked. Yeah, I did see that. Okay, let's go ahead and cover some of this stuff. Guys, let's cover some news stories right now. Let's start with Pakistan, right? because this came up. And then also, let me go ahead and also have the other one with bad Barbie or whatever the fuck her name is, because I also tweeted about that too. Let me have that up too. Give me 1 sec, guys. I'm pulling it all up for you ninjas right now. Yeah, we got a good show planned for you ninjas tonight, man. Lots of stuff coming. Where the hell did it go? Okay. All right. So first, let's talk about this. Okay. What the fuck? Hold on 1 second, ninjas. I don't know why it's showing my OBS. All right. Give me 1 second, ninjas. Stupid shit always happens. Give me 1 sec, ninjas. I have like 4 monitors, chat, and sometimes what'll happen is I will do a screen share and then it like gives me a hard time on some other bullshit. I don't fucking know, man. All right. Okay, now it's working. No, now it wants to fucking work. All right, whatever. Okay, so here we go. As you guys can see here, right? Oh, hold on. Okay. So, right here, just in Saudi Arabia and Pakistan signed a strategic defense agreement without prior notification to the U.S. due to Gulf concerns over the reliability of American guarantees. Okay. Now, let me put up some of the stuff here. Let's bring that screen back up. Shout out to YTZ Sign and the one and only with the 5 gifted. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much. I'm putting stuff up on screen for you guys right now. Sorry. I recorded a video yesterday. That's why it's all empty like that. Okay. All right. So, all right. All right. So, as you guys know, last week, right? Israel bombed Qatar. Okay. And when they bombed Qatar, they bombed them to eliminate members of Hamas. As you guys know, the leadership of Hamas lives in Doha, Qatar. And the reason why they live there is because Qatar is kind of like a middleman that facilitates agreements with the Israelis and Hamas, and also, you know, the United States and the West in general, right? It's a middle ground for all these different groups to be able to exercise some diplomacy. And these high-ranking officials in Hamas have been there for a very long time, for decades, since like the early 2000s, 2010s, etc. And the two main guys, Khaled Mashal and the other guy, who run Hamas, these guys right here. Let me put a face to the name. So this is one guy, and then all right. So this is one of the main guys, right? And Israel's been trying to kill this guy for a very long time. I told you guys the story of how they tried to assassinate him in Jordan, and they failed back in 1997. Okay? So they've been trying to get this dude for a minute, and his counterpart. So these guys live in Qatar right now. And for those of you that don't know, Qatar, whatever you want to call it, very wealthy Gulf state. It's like Dubai, right? Have a lot of money, a lot of oil, etc. Ally of the United States. We have our biggest military base there, Okay? So what ended up happening was the Israelis did a precise airstrike on a building that they thought members of Hamas were going to be at to negotiate or make a response to Trump's 24-hour warning that if they didn't make a deal, there was something bad was going to happen. So the Israelis got intel that these high-ranking Hamas members were going to go ahead and meet up to talk about this deal. And what they did was they planned an airstrike. Now, why is this a problem? Because they violated Qatar's sovereignty and their airspace to go in and attack them and bomb them in Doha. Now, this is obviously a huge slap in the face, right, to not just Qatar, but the entire Arab world and the Gulf states, okay? Now, the reason why this is so insulting, okay, is because for years, decades now at this point, all of these Arab countries that have played peace with Israel have been criticized. Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, etc. Though some of them might not recognize them via, treaties like the Abraham Accords or the Camp David Accords or whatever, the base, right, the people that live in these Arab countries dislike the fact that people go ahead and exercise diplomacy with Israel or recognize Israel and or work with Israel, okay? Because they look at it like, how are you going to work with a state that's actively oppressing Palestinian Muslims and stealing their land and occupying them illegally? That's how they look at it, right? So these Gulf states, right, these monarchs get shit on all the time and criticized all the time by their constituents for this. Now, the reason why they kind of sell out is because they get protection from the United States. As you guys know, we run cover for the Israelis in the Middle East, and everyone that plays nice with the Israelis, we basically give them aid or we let them do business in the West. We don't sanction them. And the ones that don't, we sanction them and try to destroy them. Very simple. So it's either work with us or get destroyed by us. That's what it really comes down to. Now, these Gulf states basically say, you know what? We'll work with the West. We'll work with the Israelis. Though some of us might not recognize Israel overtly, like Qatar, for example, they will still exercise some level of diplomacy with them. Same with Saudi Arabia. So when Israel bombed Qatar, it basically proved one main thing. The United States can't even protect you from Israel's recklessness, okay? And with that said, they said, holy shit, we buy a lot of weapons from the United States. We have a base here, and they still couldn't protect us. We need to have assurances that this won't happen to us again and get security from other what? Powerful nuclear-armed nations, okay? The only nuclear-armed Muslim-majority country in the world is Pakistan, okay? So what Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and some of these other Gulf states have basically done is they have negotiated a deal, right, with Pakistan for a strategic defense agreement, okay? And they did not notify the U.S. Now, for a very long time, guys, we were on the hook for defending Saudi Arabia because of something called the petrodollar, okay? Back in the 1970s, your boy Richard Nixon, right? Your boy Richard Nixon struck a deal with the Saudis saying, look, we will protect you guys. We will give you arms. We'll protect you. We'll maintain your security. The only thing we need you guys to do, right, is we need you to do all of your oil transactions in dollars, okay? And obviously this is important because if everyone is using the U.S. dollar to purchase oil, well, that's going to create a demand for the U.S. dollar, right? Now, we're already the reserve currency, but for them to also do oil transactions, it only props up the dollar more. And this is why we get to print so much money and not deal with the, severe consequence of inflation. Yes, we have dealt with inflation to a degree, but it would be way worse if we were not the reserve currency and if we didn't have the petrodollar, okay? So this is the deal that we struck with Saudi Arabia back in the 1970s, okay? Now, we recently lost this deal last year. A lot of people don't know this, but Saudi Arabia has been slowly stopping using the U.S. dollar as their main currency when they do these oil deals. It happened last year, and it happened quietly. It happened last June, I remember. And no one reported on it. Nobody fucking reported on it. But this goes to show that for years now at this point, Saudi Arabia has been slowly trying to back out of, right, or, tiptoe backwards from American security. And, you know, they flow with bricks, backing out the petrodollar to a degree, a little bit here, a little bit there, working with Russia here, working with China here, doing something here, doing something there. Because the Saudis, right, are opportunists. I'm just going to call it what it is. They're opportunists. What do I mean by this? Publicly, they'll say, oh, we will not recognize an Israeli state until they give the Palestinians land. But what they won't tell you is that prior to October 7th, they were flirting with joining the Abraham Accords. Okay? Now, what are the Abraham Accords? The Abraham Accords, guys, are basically it's a peace deal that your boy Donald Trump negotiated back in like 2020, where it would get Arab nations or Muslim majority countries in the Middle East to recognize Israel. A lot of these countries don't recognize Israel, guys, as a state for obviously what they did to the Palestinians. And Saudi Arabia was one of the last holdout countries. Now, Saudi Arabia was flirting with potentially being recognizing Israel and coming into the Abraham Accords. That is the big reason why October 7th happened. Why? Because due to Saudi Arabia's geographic location and the fact that they have so many different holy lands in their country, they are looked at as almost like the de facto leader of the Muslim world. Medina, Mecca, etc. People go there to do their Hajj, one of the 5 pillars of Islam, to go do your pilgrimage and pray at the Kaaba. So, for those of you that are wondering, that's the black cube in Mecca. So, Saudi Arabia enjoys a certain level, degree of respect because of what they have there, right? So, if Saudi Arabia joined the Abraham Accords, this would have been a fucking problem because they would join the Abraham Accords without solving the Palestinian question, okay? And that would effectively leave the Palestinians SOL because that was one of their main leverage points. Saudi Arabia is not going to recognize you, and therefore a lot of the Muslim world won't recognize you unless you give us a state, okay? Now, they won't admit that, but that's what it is. And the Saudis have been doing this for a while. This is actually why they killed Khashoggi, by the way. You guys remember Khashoggi? Sliced his ass up in the fucking embassy in Turkey? They killed him because he was talking about this type of shit. He was being very critical of the government, how they play both sides, how they do slimy shit, etc. Right? Now, why am I telling you all this? I'm telling you guys all this to let you guys know that our hegemony in the Gulf states is slowly waning off. And the Israelis being able to bomb the Qataris the way that they did with, no U.S. oversight or denial, right? First, it's like, because again, they gave 2 different stories. The Israelis said that they notified the United States. Trump played dumb and said, well, we didn't know. Or they told us right before. Well, which one is it? Right? And then we all know that Israel, they do reckless shit all the time. But we don't know if the U.S. actually did give them the go-ahead or not. The Israelis made it sound like we did, right? But Trump is playing dumb. That's why Marco Rubio is in fucking Israel right now as we speak. He might have come back by now. But he was in Israel like all week to deal with 2 things. Publicly, how Qatar is going to respond to them and the Gulf states, because they are going to respond to Israel for them bombing them. And then number 2, because they're going to go ahead and plan how they're going to attack Iran. Because make no mistake about it, there is going to be a regime change move by the Israelis to get rid of Iran. And this has been in the making for decades. I showed you guys a clean break memo, how they were hell-bent on getting rid of Saddam Hussein. Now, their next obsession is Iran, the last stronghold that's keeping them from absolute hegemony in the Middle East. But, Saudi Arabia and Qatar, seeing that the United States can't control Israel, now they're getting security from Pakistan and also working with these other nuclear powers because Pakistan is the only nuclear-powered, nuclear-armed Muslim country in the world. Okay? That is why. Because, and this is also why, if you guys notice, what did Netanyahu do yesterday? Let me show you what this nigga Netanyahu did yesterday. Bro, it is so crazy once you understand, like, geopolitics and global situations, why they do the shit that they do. Look at this. Look at what Netanyahu did yesterday. And this was not by coincidence, by the way. This nigga thinks we're stupid. Let me find it for you. Where the hell did he put it? He wished a happy birthday to the leader of India. I'm finding it for you guys real quick. It was yesterday or the day before. Yeah, so you can see him here with Marco Rubio on the 15th. And that's exactly why Marco Rubio went over there to fucking try to put out the fire between Qatar and Israel. Look at them. They're kissing the wall, bro.
Marco Rubio and his wife, Janet. I think his visit here is a testament to the durability, the strength of the Israeli-American alliance. It's as strong and as durable as the stones of the Western Wall that we just touched under President Trump.
And then look, he goes, the Hamas chiefs living in Qatar don't care about the people in Gaza. They blocked all ceasefire attempts in order to blah, 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 right? He's trying to justify him bombing the fuck out of them. All right, well, he wished a birthday, guys. He wished a birthday for the leader of India. And why did he do that? Because India, as you guys know, has had a long-standing tension with Pakistan. So India's going to align themselves with Israel. And obviously, because India is an ally of ours as well, even though we did some stupid shit with the tariffs. And the Saudis are going to align themselves with Pakistan, and the Muslim world is going to align themselves with Pakistan, because Pakistan is a Muslim majority country, right? There's a good Muslim population in India too, but I don't think they're the majority, or they're not, at least not the overt majority. So what's going on here? It's political posturing, guys. It's political posturing. The Gulf states can no longer trust the United States to protect them, because they look at it like, yo, we already sold out to you guys and look bad in front of our constituents. What the fuck? We need to go ahead and get a security guarantee from another nuclear armed power, because Israel is nuclearly armed. Okay? That's also very important for you guys. Israel has nuclear weapons, despite the fact that they don't acknowledge this for obvious reasons, because they stole them from us, by the way. They stole them from us. They don't acknowledge it because of that. And we all know which president tried to stand in the way of these motherfuckers.
When all three Kennedys died, they called it a curse. But the truth is the Jews put each one in a hearse. And there's nothing I say but truth in each verse. The Jews and their lies always make things worse.
The international clique of the sick and wicked, the Dallas Citizens Council, are the ones who did this. Once done, the Jews made the moves and bore false witness, and created the cover story with their Warren Commission. They blamed it on Lee Harvey, who was not the mastermind. He was shot and killed by the Jew Jack Rubenstein. Some Jews even tried to blame the Cubans for this crime, but the truth lies behind what made Ben-Gurion resign. A Jew named Oliver Stone put out the movie JFK, produced by the Jew Arnon Milchan, to blame the CIA. The Jew who filmed Kennedy getting his head blown off that day was Abraham Zapruder, who sold it for $150K. The magic bullet theory was physically impossible. It's why LBJ had Kennedy's body stolen from the hospital. It was created by Jew Arlen Specter and spread like gospel to cover up the fact that there were multiple hostiles.
When all three Kennedys died, they called it a curse. But the truth is the Jews put each one in a hearse. And there's nothing I say but truth in each verse. The Jews and their lies always make things worse. When all three Kennedys died, they called it a curse. But the truth is the Jews put each one in a hearse. And there's nothing I say but truth in each.
Yeah, so anyway, yeah. That's how they got their nuclear weapon. Stealing shit from us, making a bullshit idea, making up the bullshit about Kennedy being shot by Harvey Lee Oswald, and then immediately being killed by your boy Rubenstein right after that, right? So Israel absolutely has a nuclear bomb. So this is why these guys over in the Gulf need to protect themselves from Israel, and that's why they went ahead and got a security assurances from Pakistan, another Muslim majority country, the only Muslim majority country that has a nuclear bomb like Israel does. Because when you have a nuclear bomb, you are able to deter other nuclear armed countries. All right? Name of the song is called The Kenny brothers. That comes from our guy Lucas Gage once again. Anyway, guys, give me ones in the chat if that all makes sense. I went in detail there, but I hope you guys understand why Saudi Arabia had to go ahead and get these security assurances alongside Qatar, and why with Pakistan, Israel's position in the Middle East, and why they did all this. Give me ones if that all makes sense. I went really deep in there, covered many different topics, but I hope you guys understand now. All right. Awesome. 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 Yeah, the Israelis are running basically an illegal nuclear program, chat. And this is precisely why your boy John F. Kennedy was killed. He did everything in his power to stop the Israelis from getting a nuclear bomb, and they killed his ass for it, bro. He had a lot of enemies. At the CIA, at the with the Italian mob, in the U.S. government in general, and them boys wanted him out of there. And honestly, this has been like history that's been restricted for a very long time. That, you know, if you talked about this shit, you would get banned. All right, let me read some of these chats that we're going to talk about this crazy-ass chick. Did you see October 14th is going to be Charlie Remembrance Day? I did not see that, but that's good. Prince says, just joined OSS for the year. Just want to say, Myron, that you're doing what you're doing is God's work. You've been convinced a lot of young men like me to wake up from these 304s, to wake up from the lies and elite push up on us. I could rumbled, inspired by you. I just reposted and create videos. All right, that's good, bro. Congratulations. Welcome. Giggity Run says, please have Chris cancel after hours if you and Fresh not there. Bro took forever to get through intro. Had to log off for the night. Well, we ended up having a good show. Slap a Ho says 5K subs. Yep, we absolutely do, man. We are getting there. We're halfway there to the mission, chat. Clam says, my girl's friend's guy is in the military. She told her she was worried because she's supposed to get deployed and help with Gaza's ground invasion. No way. No way. That'd be crazy. Chi and You says, you seen Catch Me Outside chick crashing out? Yeah, we're going to show that right now, actually. Yeah, we're actually going to show it right here. So, here, the caption of the video is, Bad Barbie was seen on top of her baby daddy's car crying while refusing to let go even when he was trying to drive away, bruh.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4.
Can you get off the car? Are you even staying?
Millions of free child place holidays available with 22 kilos of
So, let's talk about this real quick, man. Now, hey guys, do me a favor, smash the like button for me. So I tell you guys all the time, right, about women. Shout out to Octavian with the gifted sub. Appreciate you, my friend, on Rumble. I tell you guys all the time that whether it stays or not isn't really that important, right? The thing you guys need to understand is women, right, that participate in certain behaviors, right, simply have to do other things, all right? I'll give you an example of this. If you guys remember, right, Selena Powell and her friend Throat Goat and shit like that, these girls that were making a bunch of money on OnlyFans? Women that do sex work or women that do certain types of jobs, right, that are deplorable, that put them in really bad negotiating positions, right, for a long-term relationship. One of the ways that they circumvent this lower sexual market value is by being crazy. Let me explain. All right. Shout out to our guy Top Page, by the way. Let me explain what I mean by this. All right, because this is in order to have this conversation, I need to explain to you guys sexual market value and relationship market value. So, as you guys know, right, there is something called sexual market value, SMV, right? And your sexual market value, very simple. Your market value of how good you look as a female. That is the majority of what makes up your sexual market value, right? Now, there's also something called relationship market value that me and Donovan have talked about before, okay? Shout out to my guy, Donovan Sharp. And relationship market value, guys, is the number that a girl scores for being in a relationship, okay? Wanting to be wifed. Now, you can get a girl that's extremely attractive, maybe an 8 or a 9, right? Or what you would call a hired gun. These dancers, bottle girls, entertainers, whatever, influencers. They might be an 8 or 9 on the scale of looking great, but when it comes to relationship market value, they're like a fucking 2. Why? Because they are involved in some type of industry that hurts their long-term partner capabilities, right? So I tell you guys, don't date women that are entertainers. Don't date girls that do sex work. Don't date girls that have a vested interest of being on the internet all the time because they're an influencer of some kind. Because since they need to earn a living or make an income by being on the internet all the time and or networking with other men or doing certain things, it's going to put you in a precarious situation as the boyfriend. It's going to put your relationship at stake, right? We're actually going to talk about this a little bit later with Cameron too, by the way. So a woman can have a high sexual market value while simultaneously having a low relationship market value. And this can work in the reverse. You can have a woman that has a high relationship market value, but not necessarily a high sexual market value. And I would argue that it is better for you as a man to have a woman that has a high relationship market value over having a high sexual market value. I tell you guys all the time, a girl that's a 5, 6, or a 7 that is not a 304 is far better than having a 304 as your main girl. All right? Because I don't care how hot the girl is. If she's a 304, you are cooked. You're going to look crazy. You're going to look stupid. Right? And we've seen what happens when a guy's with a girl that has a questionable past. Look at all the suffering that your boy Logan Paul had to endure because of his girl from Dylan Dennis. Look at Will Smith. Okay? Your credibility gets hit off rip. So, now that you guys understand that there is something called relationship market value versus sexual market value, let's go ahead and analyze this with women or celebrity women. And I'm going to use Selena Powell as an example. So, Selena Powell, as you guys know, was very famous for being a 304 and dealing with all these rich guys or whatever, blah, blah. Girls like her, right, that were making a bunch of money on OnlyFans or doing sex work, found it very difficult to get men of status to take them seriously. Outside of a fling here or there and some sex, these girls struggle to get a man to commit to them long term, right? For obvious reasons. Men that are attractive, that have status, understand that being with a woman, despite how attractive she might be, that has a promiscuous past, can hurt you. So outside of a fling, a lot of these women are not able to get relationships. So what they do is they have to take on a provider role. It's very fucking important that you guys understand this, okay? Now, this is very uncommon because most women don't like to provide for their man at all, okay? But women that have low relationship market value will do this. And the reason why they'll do this is because it offsets, in their mind at least, it offsets their low relationship market value. So, look, I know that I get money, and I have a lot of it, by doing deplorable things, but let me buy you gifts. Well, this ends up happening, this ends up leading to one of two things, right? One, the man uses her and has other women on the side anyway because he never intended to fucking take her seriously, right? And just takes the money, takes the gifts, whatever, pretends to be the boyfriend, but just uses her and does his own thing anyway, which is what most of these guys do. right? Or B, they stay faithful to the girl and she loses respect for him anyway and leaves him regardless. And the ugly reality is, women that do this type of work are damaged. And since they're damaged, they don't have a healthy relationship with men. So if you be a fucking nice guy and you kind of look the other way to her deplorable behavior, she's going to lose respect for you anyway. Okay? Because women like this are not used to being treated well by men. They see the ugly side of men. They're sex workers. They see all the deplorable, perverted, strange fetishes that men like to do. They're objectified constantly. Most of the time when I meet women that dislike men or say I hate men or have some type of misandry, they're involved in sex work. They're dealing with men from a extremely perverted and strange angle. So I don't blame them for disliking men, actually. They see all the weird stuff. But that comes at a cost. And what's up happening is, despite them having higher sexual market value, they have low relationship market value, and they must make up for this low relationship market value by making up for in other ways. And a lot of times this comes with provisioning, which is a very unhealthy and unnatural thing for a woman to do. But the one time I've seen women actually be able to do it is 304s, because they make so much money that it doesn't matter. They'll give their boyfriend a gift. They'll buy him a car. They'll let him live with her, because to her, she makes the money so quickly it doesn't matter. But like I said before, one of two things happens. He either A, uses the fuck out of her, sees other chicks anyway, and she finds out and loses her mind, or B, he is faithful and she loses attraction for him anyway because he's mooching off her, and women can't support a man long term. So it's L no matter what. Now, enter in this chick, bad, whatever the fuck her name is. This girl, as you guys know, made like $1 million in 24 hours, right? On OnlyFans. And the dude that she's with is a fucking bum. She cheated on him with Chief Keef, the baby daddy. It's like some fat loser. But now, as she's aging, she's starting to realize that she has low, not just sexual market value, because she's not even that attractive, but she also has low relationship market value. She's on OnlyFans. She's known as the girl that said, "Catch me outside." She doesn't have that great of a reputation. No one wants to go ahead and say, "Oh yeah, this is my girlfriend." All right? She has a bad rep, and that's not good for women that are trying to find a long-term relationship. So what's happened? Well, now she's doing crazy shit like this to keep this guy, who's of lower sexual market value, by the way, because she has low relationship market value. See what I mean by this? When women are aware overtly that they have low relationship market value, they become crazier. Because you best believe that when she cheated on her man with Chief Keef and these other guys, they fucked her and tossed her to the side of the road. So she got a nice reminder and a slap in the face that she has low relationship market value. And a lot of the times, I'm sure many of you guys understand what I'm talking about this. How many times have you guys had a girlfriend or a girl that you're seeing, she breaks up with you or starts to pull back, then all of a sudden out of nowhere, she comes running back to you. You guys ever remember that? You're either dating or seeing a girl, she goes for a while, and then she comes running fucking back, and you're wondering why? Let me explain why. She went and entertained other options during this pullback period because women don't like to be with multiple men at the same time, realistically speaking. They just don't like it. Even the biggest 304s would prefer to talk to one guy. All right? So she went out and absolutely exercised some options and looked at other guys. She came running back to you because she didn't like how she got treated by said guys. Maybe you gave her some boyfriend energy that these other motherfuckers don't want to give her. She went out there and realized like she just got, tossed to the side of the road after sex. Now she wants that commitment and she's coming back. That's more than likely what's happening here with this chick. She went out there to the streets, thought she could do better. I'm famous, I make money, let me go ahead and get with some guys on my level. Those guys say, no thank you, sex only, kick her to the side of the road. Now she's aware of her sexual market value.
Welcome,
Launch!
And most importantly, she's aware of her relationship market value, that it's not high. That she cannot date and or be with men at her caliber, class and status-wise. Because those guys don't want a bitch that's running around saying, catch me outside, or being on OnlyFans. Those guys want a low-key girl that nobody knows with 100 followers on Instagram. They'll hook up with her, they'll bang her, but they're not going to commit to her. Now she's aware of this. She went out to the streets, figured out the streets are cold, now she's trying to come back in the house. And this dumbass nigga is right here waiting. But he's like, fuck that, I'm gone. And that's why you guys are seeing this right here. This is one of the few times, guys, where you're going to see women chasing after a lower status or lower value male like this. One of the rare exceptions. And that exception is basically if the girl's a sex worker or does some type of deplorable work, a lot of the times they will use their money and their resources and simp for a man just like men do for women. But it's an extremely unhealthy relationship, and you guys can see what it leads to. And the key is they do it after they realize that they can no longer lock down a higher status man or a man on their level. So they have to go ahead and go backwards, status-wise, to find that security within the confinements of a relationship. Does that make sense, guys? Give me ones in the chat if that makes sense. This is a very high-level game that I'm explaining to you guys. Shout out to the Shift Podcast with the 20 gifted. Because normally, right, Red Pill 101 tells you women want men with status. That is correct. Women want men that can provide. That is correct. But one of the exceptions to that rule are women that do sex work or influencers or do some type of line of work that are deplorable. These women tend to be more okay with supporting a man. But it comes at a fucking dire cost. And any guy that's ever dated a stripper knows what I'm talking about. Or any guy that's ever dated a girl that does sex work knows what I'm talking about. All right, cool. All right. I'm glad that you guys get that. Perfect. Yeah, this is very advanced. You know, because this is obviously very nuanced, and not only just being nuanced, but you don't run into women like this often. But this is very common with female influencers, OnlyFans girls, porn stars, etc. They get in this weird relationship dynamic where they're stuck to a lower status guy, but they're stuck to that lower status guy because the men on their level don't want them. So they do crazy shit like this to try to keep their guy. Because at the end of the day, and Fresh has talked about this too, because Fresh knows a lot of these fucking girls in Miami that are OnlyFans stats that have huge followings. They all just want a boyfriend, bro, but they can't keep them. They all want a boyfriend, but they just get used because these girls are making like $100,000, $300,000, $400,000 a month. They're idiots. They don't know what they're doing with their money, so they just like spoil any guy that they deal with because they know that their job is deplorable and niggas don't want to commit to them. So they spoil them with gifts. It's like the reverse of simping with these women. Now, again, this is a very small percentage of women that do this, that can do this. But they definitely do exist, and especially in a lot of these major cities. They just want a boyfriend and they can't get one. Right? Because one of the girls in Fresh's rotation knows a lot of these OF bitches. So he's around them all the time, and he knows this shit. So it is what it is. All right, let's read some of these chats. All right, Mr. Morpheus, you can spend thousands of dollars on a chick for years that she doesn't even remember. If she spends $15 on you, you will hear about it for the rest of your life. Yep, facts. Lieutenant Steve says, love the content, Marion. Signed up for the year back in March, April before the Cookie Monster event. I'm currently on day 16 of the 75 hard challenge. Was inspired by you and Nick to cut booze. Yeah, booze is fucking trash, but I'm glad you cut it out. Pop and 7. Fit, I know it's off topic, but can you please react to this UFO video from the hearing last week? Was swept under the rug amid all the chaos. The very short vid of a U.S. drone shooting a missile that the UFO and it completely deflecting. All right, if we have time, let me put it on the side here. Has completely nothing to do with this. with the show topic, but I'll put this on the side for you. Shout out to the OSS ninjas. All right. Gordon Ghetto says, Charlemagne called, gay to his face. I saw that with Dame Dash. DHL says, look, I know Christianity, like Islam, is a universal religion, but why do Christians almost worship their race like the Jays? They're so obsessed with race. There's millions of white American, European Muslims and a few million East Asian Muslims, even though they're a minority. I don't understand your question. Lambert says, hey, Myron, do you think Iran has enough resources to fight a war against Israel? We'll see, man. They've been buying a lot of weapons over the past few months and improving their air defense after Operation Rising Lion. Javen Blaze, did you see October? Oh, no, we're caught up. Okay, cool. Bro, can you make a list on them boys and educational more? Nah, bro, look, you got to go looking for it yourself, man. I don't even read books on that shit, man. You just got to figure it out. Because there's a lot of bullshit out there. Just watch me, dude. I've done the work for you. Like, I don't even read books on this shit because a lot of it is bullshit. Okay, so check this out, man. So I saw this clip on my Instagram, and this was very eye-opening. Okay. For those of you that don't know, this is the rapper Cameron. He kicks Adrien Broner off his podcast for being thirsty. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, what you wasted that? I love you. What a guy. I'm sorry. My bad, y'all. My bad.
Arabia, is that a real background?
Hey, Stat, could you stop
Yes.
Can you stop smiling? You.
Arabia is.
Nah, yo, bro, some G, yo, bro, some G shit. We got to. My boyfriend here, yo.
Oh, shit.
I told you that.
My bad.
Nah, like it's all like. Okay, we can move on to football then.
Stat, oh my God.
Yo, Stat, let's do the football. I guess that answered the question about Floyd. When I see you taking off some time,
I'm mesmerized by Stat.
This nigga here, bro.
I did not know you looked that good in person. My bad, bro. You're amazing.
All right, hey, we gonna have to ask you to go, my nigga. I mean, I have to ask you to go, man. I'm gonna pay you for your time, for being here.
You look so good in person.
Thank you.
For
I
real.
appreciate that.
Hey,
what you wasted?
That's one. Let's count this up. So that's one.
I love you.
2.
What a guy. I'm sorry. My bad, y'all. My bad.
Arabia, is that a real background?
Hey, Stat, could you stop
Yes.
Can you stop smiling?
3.
Arabia is.
nah, yo, bro, some G, yo,
All right, now Cam tells him after 3 times.
bro, some G shit. We got to. My boyfriend here, yo.
Her boyfriend is there on the team watching this shit.
Oh shit.
I told you that.
My bad.
Nah, like it's all like.
So he told him before this even.
Okay, we can move on to football then.
Stat, oh my
4.
God.
Yo, Stat, let's do the football. I guess that answered the question about Floyd. When I see you taking off some time,
I'm mesmerized by
5.
Stat.
This nigga here, bro.
I did not know you looked that good in person. My bad, bro. You're amazing.
All right, hey, we gonna have
6. Yo, what the fuck, bro? So he did that 6 fucking times, right? 6 times. Cam told him before, and he told him in the middle. After 3 times, he told him, and then he did another 3, and he told him.
to ask you to go, my nigga. I mean, I have to ask you to go, man. I'm gonna pay you for your time, for being here.
You look.
I appreciate you. I
I
love you, my nigga.
I'm not doing it again.
Yeah, no. I can't. I asked you the first time. I don't have no problems with
He asked him 6 times.
you, but I'm gonna pay you for your time. But you can't violate, bro. I told you that.
I'm not, though. I'm not.
Nah, I told you niggas boyfriends in here. You know me with my brother
Oh,
and all
shit,
that.
my bad, bro. My bad.
Nah. But I appreciate your time.
It's me.
Well, if you want to wait for us outside, you could. But I'm not gonna sit in and not value your time neither. You could, but I appreciate it, bro. You gotta step up. Thank you, man. Yeah, no problem.
Bro. That's embarrassing, man. That is embarrassing. And look, why am I showing you guys that clip? I'm showing you guys that clip because this is what happens when you are not red pill aware. This is what happens when you're a thirsty ass nigga. This is what happens when you honestly make too much money when you're young. If I'm gonna be 1,000 with you guys. Adrien Broner never got told no in his life, right? Was an athlete, was a top tier boxer for a while. Nobody could tell him nothing. People in his circle didn't tell him nothing. So he didn't understand that there's boundaries and there's just certain shit that you can and can't do, right? So not only, is he not used to discipline, where like people showing people respect. He had a bunch of money, nobody could tell him shit. He could fight, nobody could tell him shit. Thirsty and not red pill aware. And this is what happens. This is what happens. You put yourself in really shitty situations. This is incredibly embarrassing. For him to be on a podcast like that, thirsting out on one of the chicks on the staff, after he told him multiple times, bro, her boyfriend's here. Right? And I tell y'all all the time, bro, like, if you don't get this thirst under control, or if you don't get this red pill awareness under control, it will come back to fuck you up. It really will. So many guys get their lives ruined by women, by being too thirsty, by not being red pill aware, picking the wrong girls, doing dumb shit, whatever. Like, I don't teach you guys this information on women so y'all can run around and just womanize all day. I teach y'all this stuff so you guys can get this handle so you can focus on real shit. Okay? Because if you don't understand women and you don't know how to attract them, right, what's going to happen is you're going to be doing a bunch of dumb shit, thirsting, spending all your time chasing after chicks. Now, I told you guys before, and I'll say it again. The things it takes to attract women are not the same things it takes to become successful. I'm going to say that again for you niggas so you guys really understand this. The things it takes to attract a lot of women, okay, and get a lot of girls are not the things that are going to make you successful. What do I mean by this? If you want to go ahead and get your notch count up and get as many women as possible, guess what you have to do? You have to cold approach. You have to be on dating apps. You have to be talking to these girls all the time. Right? Unfortunately, as you're going out and talking to these girls and doing all this other shit, that takes you away from working and making money. So the things it takes to create wealth and be successful are counterproductive to the things it takes to get a bunch of women. And the things it takes to get a bunch of women are counterproductive to the things that help you make a bunch of money and become successful. See the problem here? I told you guys this story before, but I'll say it again. When I first met Fresh, right? This guy was going on like 3 or 4 dates a day. It was fucking insane. It was absolutely fucking insane. I had never met somebody that was womanizing so hard, right? I might do 1 date a day, 3, 4, 5 a week back then in 2018 when I was actually like working for the government and had more free time and I was out womanizing and shit like that, doing some night game. This guy was doing like 2 to 3 a day, bro. That's why I always laugh when people say this nigga doesn't get girls. He does. Nigga's a horn dog. But once we started to take the podcast seriously, I remember I had to have a very serious talk with him. And you guys all know this that watch Fresh or Fit. I was like, bro, yo, you got to stop this. This is insane. This is insane. And here's the crazy part. He didn't drink, guys. He would not drink. He didn't drink or do none of that shit. He would just go out sober. He'd have a girl lined up for the morning, the afternoon, and night. And I met him in the middle of lockdowns, right? And bros, I was outside doing all this shit. And I told him, like, bro, if we're going to make this shit take off, you got to stop. And, respect to Fresh, he cut that shit back. Way back. But the reason why is because the things it takes to get a bunch of lays are not the things it takes to get paid, unfortunately. Women are absolutely counterproductive to the pursuit of success. 1,000%. Because it's such a labor-intensive fucking task dealing with them. But if you don't get this handled, what's going to happen is you're going to be like Adrien Broner sipping on chicks on a fucking podcast when you should be there making money. Look, this podcast in itself, what'd he do? Did a bunch of dumb shit that was not productive to the podcast, got kicked out. Chasing after ass on a fucking podcast. And obviously this is an extreme example, but this is what I'm talking about when I say, yo, you gotta fucking reel in this. You gotta figure this shit out so that you're not constantly chasing ass because it will fuck you up. And like I said before, kudos to Fresh, man. He turned it around and we were able to take off and start killing it with Fresh and Fit. But the number one step is identifying that chasing after ass, bro, is gonna fuck you up almost every time. It's gonna fuck you up. It's gonna fuck you up. So, anyway. Let's see here. Read some of these chats. Anything coming up with Nick? We will find something in the future, guys. San Salvador, welcome to the OSS. O/Graber, O/ thank you. Twizzle with the big $100 super chat. He says, hashtag I stand with Charlie. Question, I have 25K to invest. What would you suggest? All my debts are paid off. Put that in your 6-month savings account, bro. You want to have 6 months to 1 year of savings sitting somewhere, and then go ahead and get some other money and put that into real estate or crypto, either or. Guys, bro, can you make a list of books on them boys that are educational, more importantly factual? Just watch me, nigga. There's no books really outside of like The International J by Henry Ford and My Struggle by Mustache Man. There's really not much else you need to read, bro. Just watch me, nigga. Like, because it's a lot. There's a lot of bullshit out there, dude. Antifa is greenlit now. Shooter at UNCW. What? I did see that Antifa got put on the list. Bro, I was about time, man. About fucking time. Bro, I've been saying that Antifa needs to be on a terrorist, needs to be looked at as a terrorist organization since 2020, bro. I've been saying that shit. Now they need to do BLM. Castle Club Clan, the OSS chat reminds me of college students. A few came to learn and grow. The rest came to party and act a fool. Which one are you, chat? I can almost guarantee some of you participate in drugs and alcohol while watching. Otherwise, it wouldn't look like a retarded special ed chat. If you're offended, you are my target audience. All right, fair enough. All right. Guys, also, do me a favor. We got 1,300 likes, but we got 4,000 plus you ninjas in here. Do me a favor. Smash the like button. Also, let me go ahead and run a poll while I got you guys here because I forgot to run a poll today or the other day. So, all right, so let's, I'm trying to figure out a start time for the show. All right. All right, YouTube niggas, I'm making a poll for you guys. Then I'm going to make one for Kick next. And then I need to get a poll for the OSS as well. Because I'm thinking about doing the show at 8 p.m., guys. Thinking about doing it 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, got a poll on Kick. And then let me find... It's just being fucking. Because I've been experimenting with different times, chat, for the show. All right. All right, let's get into so guys, the options are 8 p.m., 5 p.m., 9 a.m., or 12. OSS guys, put your time. Why is this dude spamming dead air? The fuck does that mean? Shit, you know what? I'm just going to do a poll in OSS myself. Hold on. Give me 1 sec. I'm just going to literally just do it in the OSS thing. Running multiple polls, one Kick, one Rumble. Sorry, one Kick, one OSS, one YouTube. All right. Hold on. I'm doing it right now. What the fuck? Yo, Brett, can you do it for me, bro? Because I'm live on right now. All right, let's get into Cardi B, this 304.
Superstar, that would be the one and only Cardi B. Back in 2019, she became the first solo female rapper to win a Grammy Award for Best Rap Album. Her much anticipated new album is called, and I love this title, Am I the Drama? Drops this Friday. Ahead of its release, we sat down with the 32-year-old superstar for a wide-ranging conversation. So we started with some very exciting personal news with her boyfriend, NFL star Stefon Diggs.
Now, people thought that they were done, but I guess maybe it was a publicity stunt or some shit like that, but yeah.
That she's sharing first and only on CBS Mornings. But I want to start right away with, you know, because the rumors on the streets be talking. And so the latest rumor about you is that you are having a baby. And I want to know what, if anything, you want to share about that with the class.
Well, yes, I am. I'm having a baby with my boyfriend, Stefon Diggs.
Bruh. Bro, this is, I think I know what he's doing here, though. Cardi B is worth a lot of money. She's probably worth way more than him.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Matter of fact, let's look at this. First of all, how old is this nigga? 31. All right, let's see here. They're saying around 60 million. Okay. $101. That makes sense. That makes sense. I figured that she would probably be worth double what he's worth.
Congratulations. How are you feeling about that? And that this will be baby number 4 for you, Cardi.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm actually I'm excited. I'm happy. I feel like I'm in a good space. I feel very strong. I feel very powerful that I'm doing all this work.
Hey, shout out to Ship with the 20 gifted, bro. Appreciate you. Thank you very much again.
But I'm doing all this work while I'm creating.
And here's the thing. He's going to probably retire in the next few years, bro. So, hey, man. If anything breaks off, he's going to get some money.
a baby.
But having a baby with her though, did he not see how Offset got treated? Bruh.
Me and my man were very supportive of each other. We're like in the same space in our careers, but like in different, you know.
By that, what do you mean by that same space? That you're both doing well? What do you mean?
Oh, she's super pregnant, as you guys could see. Holy shit.
You know what it is? That I feel like we're really great and one of the best at what we do. And me and him think the same way. Like, it's like, yeah, we're one of the greatest, but what's next? What we doing again? We do it again. We have to do it again all the time. It's not like we're never like comfortable. We just want to keep doing it. And that's just how we both are.
You have a song on your new album. I can't wait for people to hear the new music, but there's a song called Safe.
Yeah.
Is he somebody that makes you feel safe?
Very safe. In both ways. Physically, I mean, like, you see how big he is.
Yes, yes, I did see, yes.
And he just makes me feel safe and very confident and very, like, strong. I mean, like, 2 weeks ago, I was literally having a panic attack. I was, like, crying and crying and crying just because I was just getting
6'4", probably around 200 pounds, I'm guessing.
really nervous with, you know, the whole album rollout. People were coming at me very hard. You know, sometimes people love you, people hate you, and people just...
I don't watch football, so I don't know if he's good or not, Chad. I mean, he's 31. He's a bit older, so I'm assuming he probably doesn't have the same explosiveness and speed that he used to have, right? Just because just the nature of the sport. But...
was just saying very mean things about me. And I'm like, see, this is why I don't put music out, because it's like, this is my art and this is something that I put a lot of love and time to. And it's just like, sometimes, like, it's like when people just rip it apart, it hurts you and it crushes you. And he was just like, girl, you better get it together. And it's like, he makes me feel very confident. I feel like feeling safe is feeling confident, feeling like it's like, you could do it. And it makes you feel like you could take over.
Look, man, I think this was a strategic move from him, because, like, I don't see any way that you could be in a serious relationship with a girl like this, especially after you've seen how she did her baby daddy. You know, Offset, if you guys are wondering. You know, she embarrassed him on Twitter. She went, you know, nuclear on him. So women like that, you always got to be careful, bro. You got to be careful. You know, I do think that he probably was like, you know what? She has a bunch of dough. I can do this. But, bruh, girls like this, though, man, like, they'll air you out and embarrass you, like she did with Offset, bro. Like, ghetto women like this dude are like not, these are not women you want to, you know, have anything serious with, right? You smash them a couple times, whatever. But, like, having anything long-term or whatever, I think this is a career move for him. If I'm going to be 1,000. He's getting ready to retire, probably. He's 31 years old. 31 years old, guys, in the NFL is old, right? He's 31. Probably got maybe a few more years. He's a wide receiver, which means he's like in dog years damn near, right? So he might be planning a career shift soon. Someone like her can easily get him in there. I think this is a strategy move for him, because I can't see any other reason why he would take this chick serious, bro. Former stripper, 304, already got kids, low relationship market value. She's a huge liability. She'll fuck your shit up if you piss her off. So there's no upside really to fucking with her, unless, like, he's planning to get into the music industry or transition and do something else after the NFL shit, which is like what I predict. Reality TV, go into the music industry, be an entertainer of some kind. That's what I predict is going to happen. Yeah, I see a bunch of you guys in here that say, yeah, 31 years old is old for the NFL. Yeah, that's what I think, bro. He's getting ready to transition from being an athlete into something else. That's the only reason I could think that he would go down this road with someone like this. This chick is a walking red flag, bro.
Over the world.
But she has connections. A lot of them.
Well, you know, there was all sorts of speculation. Is she not? Did you decide that you weren't ready to talk about it? What was your thinking there? Why did you think, okay, now I'm going to talk about it?
By the way, now that I talked about it, y'all better get my album. Y'all wanted to know, right? Now y'all know. Now y'all could buy my album so I could buy Pampers and diapers and all that type of stuff. I told ya, now go support my album because I'm a mother of 4 now.
Yes.
But no, I just was like, can I just say it on my own time? Like, I'm not hiding.
Yeah, on my own time,
like on my own time.
terms.
Yes, like it's like on my own terms. Let me close some deals first. You know what I'm saying? Let me close some deals first. And it's like, you know what? You don't really want to say right away that you're pregnant. Like it's like let me see a couple of more sonograms. Let my baby be healthy. And you know what's so crazy? I haven't till today. Matter of fact, I have to tell them this week. Before this interview come out, I haven't even told my parents.
No way, Cardi.
I haven't told my parents. They just be looking at me like,
Cardi. Wait. Back up.
Well, the reason why she's coming out with it now is like, look at how big she is. She can't hide it anymore. You know what I mean? She can't hide it anymore, bro.
Why haven't you told them?
Because I'm scared of them. I'm very scared of my parents.
You're scared of your parents?
I'm very scared of my
do
parents.
they like Stefon?
Hey, guys, and don't forget to vote on Kick and, the Kick poll is done. Shit. How did we vote on Kick? Martin, do you read the Kick chat? Not really, because a lot of y'all niggas in there are fucking haters. Not a lot of weirdos in there. Yeah, smash the like button, guys, on YouTube for me. But I don't even look at YouTube chat like that either. I look mostly at Casa Club. I look at Rumble sometimes too. But
Do they like him?
Yes, they like him.
They like him.
They do like him. They do like him.
Something tells me they'll be happy for you because you have children, he has children. Were you thinking, you know, the way we feel about each other, we both want to have a child together?
Yes. I mean, you know.
all right, now getting with single moms, right? If you got kids as a guy, I could see that as one of the few exceptions, right? I normally tell y'all stay away from single moms, right? But, yo, shut the fuck up, dudes in the chat saying skip this topic. Shut the fuck up. Nobody gives a fuck what you YouTube niggas got to say, bro. Get the fuck out of my chat telling me what to run on my shit. Skip this topic. Shut the fuck up. All right, there's some red pill knowledge in here that we could talk about. Dumbass niggas trying to tell me how to run my show. Shut the fuck up, bro. Hate that shit. People trying to tell me what to stream and what to not stream. Shut the fuck up, bro. Get the fuck out of my chat. Especially when it's YouTube niggas saying that dumb shit. There's a reason why I'm talking about this, you stupid fucks. Your dumbass monkey asses probably get no bitches and or with a fat bitch or with a ghetto chick like this. We need to save niggas' lives. Shut the fuck up. Holy shit, bro. Super annoying, especially when it's YouTube niggas telling me what to do. Yeah. Go ahead, bro. You niggas that are saying skip and all this other shit, you niggas are getting kicked out the chat, bro. Niggas said move on. Nope, you're banished to the Shadow Realm. Congratulations. Now niggas will never see you ever again. Now niggas will never see you again. Congratulations. Try to tell me how to run my fucking show, bro. The fuck? Anyway, so I tell you guys all the time, stay away from single moms. And the reason why I tell you how to stay away from single moms, shout out to the Shift Podcast of the 20 Gifted. Shout out to you, Shift. There's a reason for this. All right. Taking out the trash. Anyway, so I tell you how to stay away from single moms. And there's a multitude of reasons for this. One of the main reasons is because when you get with a woman who has kids, what's going to happen is that's going to come as a package deal, okay? Even if she tells you, hey, look, you don't got to worry about my kids, the dad's involved, whatever. As the man, you are going to be, if the relationship gets serious, you are going to be expected to deal with those children to some degree. It is what it is. Even if the father is super involved, you are still going to have to deal with those children to some degree, right? Coming into a relationship with a woman. The kids and her are a package deal, bro. So I tell y'all stay away from this because let's say you do get with the woman, especially the single guy, unless you're a fucking weirdo, you're going to start to love her kids. Hell, it gets to a point where you're going to like her kids so much that she's going to do dumb shit that's going to make you stay just for the kids, right? Because there's a lot of good guys out there that will go in and get with a single mom and treat the child like their own. I'm sure many of you guys have been in that situation before, where you get with a woman, she's a single mom, you meet her kids, you end up loving the kids like they're your own, and then you want to break up with her, but you stay with her because of the kid. Happens to a lot of guys. I've seen it happen, right? So I look at it like the only way to really like make it where it benefits you as a man is you got to have kids, right? Then I would say, okay, now it's kind of a trade-off because she has some skin in the game now too, because she's going to also grow to love your kids, right? Because she's a woman and she's going to be inevitably put in a position where she's going to be, being the caretaker and the nurturer and shit like that. But in general, guys, getting with a single mom that has kids, not a good move for you, especially a single guy. The only time I can see it making sense is if you got children yourself. But in general, guys, stay away. But I see what Stefon Diggs is doing. This shit got dope, bro. Worth $100 million? Double his net worth? Yeah, that makes sense.
Everybody kept telling me, like, I should have fun. Yes. And we had a little bit of...
Translation, Bia 304. After she got with Offset, which is women giving each other terrible advice as usual. What else is new?
Too much fun, and now I'm here. I'm here. We had too much fun, and yeah, we're very excited. We're very
and you're
happy.
both happy,
all the time.
and you're both happy about it.
Yes, we're very.
But
happy
I'm
about
happy for you to see you this happy because we all know you went through a very messy divorce with Offset. Were you worried about opening your heart up again, or falling in love again, or even dating again?
Yeah, all you single guys though that don't got no kids, bro, do not get with a single mom, bro. That's gonna be a nightmare for you. At least if you got kids, then you can kind of rectify it. But if you don't got kids and you get with her and she got kids, bro, that's L.
Again, were you concerned about that?
Yes. And one thing about like dating, like it's like when you date, you feel like you're like 16 again. And I don't really...
Well, you want to feel like you're 16. You want to meet somebody that makes you feel like that.
You do, but then it's like you also remember what you dealt with when you were 16. So it's like restarting again.
Well, that part, yeah.
Yeah. And being open.
And vulnerable.
And like one time he just told me, like, it's like, let me heal you. Give me a chance for me to heal you. And it's like, okay.
He said, let me heal you? Is the baby, I'm not asking for your due date, but is baby coming this year or next?
It's coming before my tour.
Before your tour? When's your tour?
In February.
Whoa, Cardi.
Yeah.
You're going to go on tour in February?
Yeah.
You ready?
By the way, that's how artists make most of their money, by the way, chat. They do not make most of their money on streams and deals and all this other bullshit. Most artists make their money from touring. That is the majority of their money by far. So, and I think even now, the way record sales are, I don't even think they make as much money on CDs anymore because no one buys CDs anymore. No one buys fucking, obviously, tapes. I mean, now it's all about streaming and downloads. But even that, I don't think is as much money, bro. So most of these people make their money off of shows and doing tours, ticket prices, etc. That's always been the game. Okay, we got... All right, guys, I'm going to stop the poll here in a little bit. I let it go for like another minute or two. I want to get at least 2,000 votes in there. Also, guys, we got 1,600 likes. We got 4,000 plus you guys in here. Smash that like button for me, guys. Smash that like button, okay? I got to deal with these retards in YouTube chat. Trying to tell me how to run my goddamn show. Send them niggas to the to the fucking Shadow Realm. Okay? So do me a favor, smash that like button because I got to deal with these retards. It's only a couple, 3 to 5 idiots, but it's still annoying. So smash that like button for me. Let's get to 2,000 likes, guys, and then also give a vote on the poll of what time I should do the show. Right now, 8 p.m. is leading at 39%, and then 28% at 5 p.m., 14% at 12, and then 9 a.m. 19%.
I'm very ready. Even when I'm pregnant, I'm very, very ready.
Tell me about that.
Because I'm getting my body ready. Like I stretch it out.
Bruh. Give me 1 second. I'm going to get some water, chat.
Stretch. So as soon as I give birth, tour rehearsal starts. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I don't come from weak women.
You don't?
No.
There is nothing weak about you.
No.
Nothing. It's been 7 years since Cardi B released her debut album, and her fans have been eager for more music.
There was this point in my career, like after WAP, that everybody was like, you should drop the album then. But it's like, honey, I had like 6, 7 songs that I don't like those songs. I didn't like them.
So you didn't want to drop it until you were ready and felt good about it?
Yes.
Why do you feel good about this?
I feel like it's complete. I feel like it touched every little thing that I want to touch. And I just feel like it's something that is not out there right now.
I know that she was very anxious to share the news, and I like her point that she wanted to do it in her own time and in her own terms. She's been in public, you've seen her, and there's been a lot of speculation about are you not, who's a father, which she felt was very disrespectful, but she's been wearing she's been wearing a corset. So when you look at her, you think she is, but you aren't quite sure. But let me tell you, the baby bump is really bumping.
The baby bump is real.
The baby bump is really bumping, and she was really glowing. Towards the end of the interview, we went out to continue shooting. Stefon just happened to call to check on her to see how she was doing. Did you eat today?
All right, let's hit some of these chats. All right, Martel92 says, if the government starts cracking down, on our freedoms with censorship over anti-Semitism, what's the future looking like to keep spreading the truth? Also, Project Nimbus is Israel starting their pro-J ads with Google and other companies using AI. Martel, that translates perfectly into what I was going to talk about. Next topic at hand, guys, is right here, okay? So basically, Israel signs a $45 million deal with YouTube, okay? So a 6-month, $45 million contract was signed with Israel's prime minister with Google. The deal involves YouTube and Google's display and video 360 ad platform. Internal documents labeled the campaign as Hezbollah, a Hebrew term commonly understood as state propaganda. The effort began soon after March 2nd when Israel imposed a total blockade, cutting off food, medicine, fuel, and essential supplies to Gaza. Amid mounting international concern over the humanitarian fallout, government officials in Israel discussed how to mitigate reputational damage. One central video published by Israel's foreign ministry claims there is food in Gaza. Any other claim is a lie. That video reportedly amassed more than 6 million views, much of its reach attributed to ad spend under this contract. Besides Google, Israel spent roughly $3 million on ads via X and about $2.1 million via Outbrain/Teads. Campaign content also targeted international institutions, taking aim at the UN's refugee agency, UNRWA, or UNRWA, legal advocacy groups like the Hind Rajab Foundation, and frames accusing parts of the UN of sabotaging aid or having extremist sites. And you guys know the Hind Rajab Foundation is a foundation that was founded to go after IDF soldiers that kill children in Gaza. So they're targeting them. Meanwhile, Gaza's health authorities report worsening famine and malnutrition, with the multiple thousands of children and pregnant or nursing women suffering and hundreds of thousands attributed to starvation. Official UN systems have declared parts of Gaza to be in famine, warning of a large-scale humanitarian catastrophe if conditions aren't reversed. So basically, the Israelis, right, are spending a bunch of money on doing a complete rebrand and doing a media campaign. Now, I'm not surprised. I literally did a whole monologue on this. I spent like maybe 10 or 15 minutes talking about this topic. And the long story short is this: Israel is going to dump hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars, into changing the narrative of what's going on in the Middle East. And the reason why they're doing this is for two main reasons. Number one, to justify a war with Iran. Number two, to continue to get U.S. support and aid. A lot of people have stopped supporting Israel and or don't want to support Israel anymore, especially the young people. The only people that are still supporting Israel at this point are stupid Republican boomers, right? But even younger Republicans are waking up to it, right? Waking up to the problems of Israel. And quite frankly, we'll see what happens. But I think censorship is going to pick back up. That's what I think. I think censorship is going to pick back up, and we're going to be put in a very, very bad spot. And we're going to talk a little bit about Project Nimbus right here. We've known about Project Nimbus for a bit, but let's go ahead and watch this video on it. Make sure I have it. And this has been something that's in the works for a minute.
Welcome back. This is MEE's Live's Deep Dive, where we dive into a story shaking up the world. And here's a question. Has Silicon Valley sold its soul to the military-industrial complex? It increasingly appears the days of ethical tech companies promising a better, safer world are long gone. And Google, who once enshrined the mantra, "Don't be evil," into its manifesto, is at the center of it all. On Tuesday, we heard from Microsoft employees who staged a daring protest at the company's 50-year anniversary celebration. You may have seen the footage. AI engineer Ibtihal Abu Said told us how the tech giant is helping Israel surveil and translate conversations by Palestinians in Gaza before they're targeted with airstrikes. But Microsoft is just the tip of the iceberg. A growing number of tech workers inside the world's most valuable company.
And just so you guys know, this came out 5 months ago, so this has been in the works for a while, right, to try to change the narrative. They're doing this in steps. We know that Netanyahu offered Charlie Kirk $150 million. We know that they signed this deal with Google, right? We know that this has been going on for a while. They are going to start pushing out propaganda. And to push out propaganda, the other thing you guys got to also understand is not only do you got to disseminate information that's favorable to the Israeli government, they need to start silencing people that are not favorable to the Israeli government. So I predict that's going to be the next leg of this Hezbollah tour.
These are speaking up, risking their careers to highlight what they say is a growing ties between big tech and Israel's high-tech war in Gaza. One of the biggest and most secretive of these is Project Nimbus. We first caught wind of it back in 2022, when Amazon and Google staff began raising the alarm about a $1.2 billion contract between those two companies and the Israeli government. The contract gave Israel's army access to the state-of-the-art cloud services and data centers built specifically to help it monitor the West Bank and Gaza and carry out military strikes efficiently. Last year in May, Google cloud engineers disrupted a conference in New York held by Barak Regev, Google Israel's managing director. Have a listen.
I'm a Google Cloud software engineer, and I refuse to build technology that powers genocide, apartheid, or surveillance. Project Nimbus puts Palestinian community members in danger. I refuse to build technology that's going to be used for cloud apartheid. No cloud for apartheid. No tech for apartheid. Free Palestine.
Google is complicit in Israeli genocide.
Oh shit, two of them came up. I mean, guys, I've been telling y'all forever that big tech is run by them. And if you don't believe me,
Every single time, every single crime, every single lie, early lie, every single hour, every single day, every single night, early lie. I know it's hard to believe it's the whole forest, not one tree, and it's every branch and leaf. They're born to deceive, but I'm telling you the truth. It's not just one or two, it's every single Jew. They all hate you, and it really breaks my heart. But their lies are off the charts, and they only bring us harm. You gotta get smart. So if you want to be safe and don't want to get replaced, it's best you start being based, or you'll get erased. Every single time, every single crime, every single lie, early life, every single hour, every single day, every single night.
guys, they own big tech. And we can keep going.
Every single time, every single crime, every single lie, early lie, every single hour, every single day, every single night, early lie.
Bruh. So it's not going to be hard for them to get access to all this crap and be able to, you know, do what they want to do when it comes to the technology, bro. It's not going to be hard. We know who runs it.
By the way, those two engineers that you saw in the video, as well as dozens of others who took part in these protests, were all fired. So why does Israel's army actually need state-of-the-art data centers anyway? Well, it's increasingly using AI technology in its targeting of airstrikes in Gaza. Last year, investigations by The Guardian and 972 magazine uncovered Project Lavender, an AI system designed by Israeli intelligence unit 8200.
And Lavender, there you go.
Its job
Palantir software
is to scan Gaza and highlight thousands of potential targets at much faster rates.
Hey, shout out to Lucas Gage rating the stream, man. Shout out to him, man. Hey, we're just playing your song, Lucas, with our boy Alex Karp, because we all know what his early life is.
Every single time, every single crime, every single lie.
And this guy's a fucking retard, by the way. This is probably one of the most insufferable people ever. If you guys ever listen to Alex Karp talk, he's the fucking worst. Him and Peter Thiel, absolutely horrible speakers. They say a whole bunch of words out without saying anything. Absolute fucking retards, dude.
Than a human being is capable of. This is because Israel was bombing Gaza so frequently that it was running out of targets. Now, to tell us more, we're joined now by MEE investigative reporter Arib. Arib, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me, Mohammed.
Now, let's start with a basic question. What can you tell me about Project Nimbus?
Project Nimbus was actually established in 2021, and it's a partnership between the Israeli government, Google, and Amazon. And it's a project that's worth approximately $1.2 billion, which isn't a lot for companies like Google and Amazon. And it's designed to basically provide cloud computing services for the Israeli government. Now, this is really important because the Israeli government is obviously comprised of a number of branches: judiciary, finance ministry, the army, the Shin Bet, Mossad, etc., etc. But the way this deal was even announced to the public was very vague, and that's what made a lot of human rights activists quite concerned about this project, what it is, what it stands for. And what's really interesting is that we've only really found out about what Nimbus does, or what it may or may not be doing, through leaks.
And not only that, guys, the people that run these tech companies, I just showed you all of them. Hardcore Zionists, okay? Hardcore Zionists in positions of power. What do you guys think they're going to do? Right? Why do you guys think I got demonetized? Right? Now, obviously, they're allowing a bit more free speech, but they're going to 100% push that shit back and start censoring motherfuckers again. I'm telling y'all, bro. Israel's going to drop a lot of money on pushing propaganda while silencing critics. Get ready.
From Google employees, from reports like you mentioned by 972 magazine and The Guardian. So yeah, there's a lot of secrecy around this project, and it's still a bit unclear as to what exactly Google and Amazon are providing to the Israeli government.
Now, $1.2 billion, as you mentioned, is not a lot when it comes to the size of these companies. No. But for me and you, it's quite a considerable amount of money. And certainly for a contract with a government, it kind of hints at quite a lot that they're providing in exchange. And I understand that we don't know an awful lot about what is being offered, but what, when it comes to cloud services and data centers that Google and Amazon specialize in, what exactly do we believe that these are being used for in Israel?
I mean, one thing that we do know is that Project Nimbus is geared towards providing cloud computing services specifically for machine learning and artificial intelligence. And one thing...
All right, so now you guys know what Project Nimbus is and what they're going to do. And now we're in the later stages of Project Nimbus, and they've had this in for a minute. And I'm telling you guys, they're going to ramp up the Hezbollah a bunch so that they can go ahead and obviously, continue to do what they're doing, because they're going to need U.S. support for this war in Iran, because it's a very unpopular war. So this comes out from CNN. Let's check this out real quick. Far-right Israeli finance minister says Gaza will turn into a real estate bonanza. I told you guys.
It's not my fault that I have to do this. You only pick on me because I'm Jewish. Stop being a jealous loser and go get a job. I can do what I want because I'm chosen by God.
October 7th, 2023.
The U.S. President and the British Prime Minister acknowledged their differences on the issue of the recognition of a Palestinian state.
At their news conference earlier, both leaders...
And just so you guys know, the only reason that the Brits are even doing it is because they're doing it to try to politically pressure Israel to stop this starvation. But make no mistake about it, they don't actually give a fuck about recognizing Palestine for recognizing Palestine. They're using it as a political tool to create leverage on the Israelis to stop the starvation campaign, because that makes the United Kingdom look very bad. But just so you guys know, the Brits helped them out with bombing Qatar the other day. Do you guys know that? So it's all a bunch of bullshit. It's all, political posturing. But the Brits were absolutely involved in assisting Israel with bombing Doha, Qatar last week. So a bunch of bullshit, bro.
Said they want to end the war in Gaza and acknowledge the brutality of the Hamas attack on October 7th, 2023. Keir Starmer said he plans to recognize a Palestinian state within the context of an overall plan for peace. President Trump focused on the release of hostages.
I want an end. I want the hostages released. And I think it's going to be okay. But it has been a brutal period of time. But this has been going on for a long time. This is not something that's over the last year, 2 years. But this has been for decades and decades. But we want it to end. We have to have the hostages back immediately. That's what the people of Israel want. They want them back.
No, they don't. They've had many opportunities to get all the hostages back, but they don't want the hostages back, and I'll tell you guys why, because then they would have to end the war. Look, guys, it was never about getting the hostages back. It was about taking the land, okay? It was about taking the land and finally having an excuse to attack all of their enemies with relentless aggression that you guys have seen over the past 2 years. They could have got those hostages back October 10th. I'm telling y'all this for years now. Could have gotten back October 10, 2023, in exchange for not going into Gaza and bombing the fuck out of it. But what did they do? They bombed the fuck out of it. They get the hostages back now, but Hamas will not negotiate and give the hostages back unless the Israelis leave the Gaza Strip and do a permanent ceasefire. They refuse to do that. That is why the war is still going on.
On the ground, Israeli tanks appear to be stationed on the edge of Gaza City 2 days after Israel's military announced its ground incursion into the city had begun.
Reuters is reporting that internet and phone lines have been cut.
And no one's been talking about this because obviously everyone's been focusing on the Charlie Kirk story, but they have begun the last phase of their takeover of the Gaza Strip.
Across Gaza, this as Israel continues its aerial bombardment. Palestinian officials say more than 100 people were killed across Gaza in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, tens of thousands of Palestinians are heeding Israel's warning and streaming out of Gaza City any which way they can as intense international criticism mounts. Some new comments by Israel's far-right finance minister could fuel tensions as well.
Bezalel Smotrich says negotiations are currently underway to...
Yeah, another genocidal fucking weirdo from the Likud party. Smotrich, Gavir, Netanyahu, these guys, bro.
Divide Gaza and describes the battered enclave as, quote, a real estate bonanza. Listen to Smotrich describe the
At least he's honest about it.
Plan in his own words.
I admit, I didn't expect this. Just so you know, it's not funny. There is a business plan. Listen to me carefully. There's a business plan set by the most professional people there is, and is on President Trump's table, and how this thing turns into a real estate bonanza. I'm not kidding, it pays off. I have started negotiations with the Americans. I say this not jokingly now, because I also demand. We paid a lot of money for this war, so we need to divide how we make a percentage on the land marketing later in Gaza. And now, no kidding, we've done the demolition phase, which is always the first phase of urban renewal. Now we need to build. It's much cheaper.
Bruh. They're not even hiding it, chat. They're not even hiding it.
All right, let's bring in CNN's Jeremy Diamond, joins us live now from Jerusalem. So in that press conference between...
Now you guys see why they don't give a fuck about the fucking hostages back. If they get the hostages back, that means they cannot continue, right, to do what they're doing and take over the land like they wanted, like they really want to do.
Keir Starmer, the British Prime Minister, and President Donald Trump. Keir Starmer talked about the importance, in his view, of recognizing a Palestinian state, but he also took time to really condemn Hamas, to condemn what happened on October 7th. The issue, of course, is the humanitarian crisis that is unfolding in Gaza right now, which has led to a huge international diplomatic fallout for Israel, especially among the Europeans. Just in terms of what's happening in Gaza City right now, we know that hundreds of thousands of Palestinians have fled, but there are still many, many thousands of people who are still trapped within Gaza City right now as this ground incursion is ongoing. What are they experiencing right now, Jeremy?
Well, indeed, while some 350,000 Palestinians are estimated to have fled Gaza City already, there are many hundreds of thousands more who still remain there. Keep in mind, the UN last month said that Gaza City had become home to some 1 million people approximately, and so you can easily do the math there and understand what a large population still remains there. Now, the Israeli military has been urging people to leave the city, and they say that it is in order to get civilians out of harm's way, as this very large Israeli force of some 20,000 Israeli ground forces is set to carry out attacks in Gaza City, fighting.
And they've been going crazy, blowing up every high rise over the past few weeks.
Against what they say is a Hamas force estimated at just 2,000 to 3,000 fighters. And so when you see what is happening with displaced people in Gaza, that is why you are also hearing these accusations that Israel is carrying out the mass forced displacement of the population, squeezing them into a smaller and smaller area of the Gaza Strip. And then I think you really can't uncouple that from the comments that we are hearing now from Bezalel Smotrich, Israel's far-right finance minister, who we have seen have considerable influence over the decisions that this government has made, including arguing against any ceasefire negotiations and,
of course,
instead advocating for the very type of military offensive where they will conquer Gaza City but also occupy Gaza City for the indefinite future. And then, so when you hear Smotrich, in light of Palestinians being forced out of this major city in Gaza, you know, before the powder is even dry, talking about a real estate opportunity here, a
And guys, this has been the plan from the beginning. Donald Trump fucked up, right? A couple months back, if you guys remember. So back in March, let's go back in time a little bit. If you guys remember back in March, Trump was having a bunch of controversy with talking about the tariffs, right? So he started implementing these tariffs on these countries saying, yo, these guys got to pay, blah, 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 blah. And he talked about putting tariffs even on Israel. So what people thought was your boy Benjamin Netanyahu was going to come to the United States to talk about tariffs with Trump. No, he didn't come to talk about tariffs with Trump. He came to really talk about bombing Iran, okay? He made it look like it was about terrorists, but he actually came to talk about bombing Iran. And the reason for that, guys, well, also the other thing you guys got to remember is that your boy Netanyahu came to the United States. He's already been here like 6 or 7 times. Trump's only been in office for 9 months. He's already been here like 6 or 7 times, okay? And then we've been over there, as you guys can see, with, you know, Marco Rubio, et cetera, as well. So, they'll sit there and lie and say, oh, yeah, no, bro, it's about tariffs. No, it was about bombing Iran and obviously what's going on in the Middle East in general, waging wars. So, and at this press conference, even Netanyahu was surprised when Trump said, we're going to take over Gaza. Let me show you guys real quick so you guys can get an idea. And he stopped saying that shit real quick after.
Your White House has made clear taxpayer dollars won't be used for this. So
No,
what
we
money
won't
are you
need
going
it.
to use
No,
to
no.
buy Gaza?
We're not going to buy anything. We're going to have it, and we're going to keep it, and we're going to make sure that there's going to be peace, and there's not going to be any problem, and nobody's going to question it.
You've said before that the U.S. would buy Gaza, and today you
this is the leader of Jordan actually here. Look at him. He's like,
just said we're not going to buy Gaza.
We're not going to have to buy. We're going to have Gaza. We don't have to buy. There's nothing to buy.
What is it going to take it?
We will have Gaza.
What does that mean?
No reason to buy. There is nothing to buy. It's Gaza. It's a war-torn area. We're going to take it. We're going to hold it. We're going to cherish it.
Bruh.
We're going to get it going eventually where a lot of jobs are going to be created for the people in the Middle East.
And Mr. President, take it under what authority? It is sovereign territory.
Under the U.S. authority.
Bro, let me see if I could... find it when he was with Netanyahu.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous, unexploded bombs.
And Netanyahu's like, you're going to tell them our plan?
Bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site.
Look at him. He's like, yo, the face says it all, Chad. Here, let's play that again. Hold on. This nigga's like, wait, what?
Responsible for dismantling all of the U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will.
He's like,
do a job with it too. We'll own it
You can tell he's trying really hard to do the poker face.
and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous, unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site. Level the.
Look at that look, bro. Come on, Chad. Come. Let me get the chat out the way so you guys can see. Look at this nigga's face, bro. That is the look of, bruh. This nigga gave our plans away? Because here's the thing about Trump. He's very unpredictable. So you can see he's like, oy vey. He gave away the plans. Fuck.
Site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out.
Look at it. Yo, you can tell Netanyahu's like, what the fuck is going on? Why is he giving our plans away?
And economic development.
Look at him, bro. I know he's looking at his staffers like, what the fuck is going on right now, dude? What the fuck is going on? Why is he saying this? No one's supposed to know this.
Supply, unlimited numbers of jobs and housing.
Yeah, he's panicking. He's looking at Trump. He's looking at his notes. He's looking at his staffers.
For the people of the area.
Bruh. So yeah, Trump kind of let the cat out the bag early, and Netanyahu did not know he was going to do that shit, as you could tell from the look on his face. And yeah, dude, no bueno at all. Also, while Israel is running this campaign, chat, hold on, there's something else I want to show you guys. Let's look at how they're gonna do the Gaza Strip real quick. You guys know I like to show you guys. This is one of my favorite channels now. Here's the
Why did Israel launch its final ground invasion of Gaza while millions of civilians remain trapped in the city? The Israeli ground invasion of Gaza City on September 15, 2025 represents a marked departure from previous offensives in both its ambition and execution. Unlike past operations that primarily aim to weaken the Gaza militants' military capabilities or target specific infrastructure, this campaign is openly focused on the complete seizure and control of Gaza City. Israeli officials have made it clear that their objective is not only to defeat the militants militarily, but also to establish a long-term presence and dominance over the entire city, signaling a strategic shift toward full occupation. What sets this offensive apart is also its unparalleled scale. Israel has mobilized between 60,000 and 80,000 reservists, the largest deployment in the history of the Gaza conflict. This massive troop buildup indicates
that's because this is the last leg of it.
Plans for a sustained, intensive campaign over an extended period, contrasting sharply with previous incursions, which involved fewer ground forces and were generally shorter in duration. This is unprecedented since they have mobilized a massive armored tank force even larger with a particular concentration on Deir al-Balah. The military has cited several reasons, both official and implied.
And they've kind of stayed away from this area, guys, because they suspected that a lot of the hostages were there.
For this renewed offensive. One of the main goals is to dismantle what remains of Hamas's military infrastructure. According to Israeli military officials, the operation targets areas where the Israeli Defense Forces have not yet conducted ground invasions, in an effort to eliminate the group's remaining capabilities. Another key objective is to expand the territory under Israeli control. Deir al-Balah, until now largely untouched by ground forces, is being targeted as the IDF looks to establish a broader presence in central Gaza. The area had previously been avoided due to concerns that hostages were being held there. The hostage situation has played a significant role in shaping Israel's strategy. Earlier reluctance to enter certain regions stemmed from intelligence suggesting that Hamas was keeping hostages in those areas. But with ceasefire negotiations and hostage talks currently at a standstill, Israel has shifted tactics, ramping up its military pressure in hopes of breaking the deadlock. Israeli officials also argue that these actions are necessary to prevent a resurgence of Hamas. They believe that if fighters and infrastructure are allowed to remain intact, the group could regroup and continue to pose serious threats to Israeli civilians. As of
bro, they're pretty much dismantled at this point. The main infrastructure's gone.
July 2025 reports estimate that at least 58,895 Palestinians lost their lives, with some sources
We're well over 60,000 now.
suggesting
And that's confirmed. This isn't even counting the people under rubble and everything else like that.
over 62,000 deaths from direct and indirect causes. In Israel, about 1,139 people, mostly civilians including women and children, lost their lives during and shortly after the October 7 attacks. Initial estimates were higher, but were revised following identification efforts. But why Israel is launching a second ground invasion after bombarding Gaza for several months after the October 7 attack? The goal was clear: revenge and the dismantling of the militant group. But despite their relentless bombardment, Hamas is still fighting. Here's how their strategy has shifted. The militant group has moved away from traditional battlefield tactics and embraced a decentralized insurgent style of warfare. With many of its top commanders killed and its command centers destroyed.
Yeah, they got the negotiator Ismail Haniyeh. They got Yahya Sinwar last year. They tried to kill the guys in Qatar. They failed. But yeah, man, it's pretty much cooked. Real quick here.
The group now relies on small, autonomous units operating independently. These compartmentalized cells are much harder for Israeli forces to detect and eliminate, allowing for a more agile and unpredictable approach. Guerrilla tactics have become the new standard. Ambushes, sniper fire, IED attacks, and hit-and-run raids are now their primary methods of engagement.
I'm gonna read some of these chats. Tyler Cern says, did you do this the other day? And we all said 10 a.m. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do it again. But now you guys are all saying 8 p.m., you motherfuckers. Mr. Morpheus, get the rest you need. Start when it's good for you. Your life, not chats. All right. Skilliam says, when you go over the Jimmy Kimmel stuff, react to this. It's the company that owns the show. Okay, sure. Thank you for giving me that. That will add to what we got going on. Jacob, mine isn't lying. Met this nigga fresh once and he had a snow bunny on his belt. Yep. Peter Riley, what if we start at 6 p.m. mission, switch the OSS at 11 p.m., 12. Switch the OSS at 2 to 3 a.m. feels too late. OSS is great, but 5 p.m. was perfect since you get off to do Fresh and Fit and Nick gets on late as well. Breaking news, Destiny just got demonetized on YouTube. What? Really? He's live right now. Actually here. Well, like he's like doing like a debate or some shit like that.
Maybe more.
Oh shit! Yeah, you can't donate.
Thank you.
Thanks. Appreciate hearing your thoughts.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
I have a question for you.
How did you find out?
So recently you have been, I'm gonna take the soy pill as well. As somebody, we've been friends for 3 years, and
Rurudite, aka the she owes her career to Destiny, bro.
Into the ratcheting things up. I agree that you don't want to clap for me.
All right, I don't want to listen to her yap really. Okay, shout out to the queso to cheese. Appreciate you, bro, for the 10 gifted subs. Appreciate you greatly, my friend. Thank you, queso. TPC Film says, new merch coming soon. Exclusive for OSS, MarionGatesX.com. Dungeon Daddy. Yeah, that's funny. I created a poll and pinned it. Please check if it worked. Benjamin Netanyahu. Simple niggas getting pregnant with deadbeats. Yep. Dame jumps. Diggs got a vet contract to the Patriots. Marriage cause divorce. When is saying a book coming out? Probably next year. Will it be out? Will it be about 3 or 4's running game? Probably. That BBL smells like Times Square? Probably. SL Slim Joker says my face when you start playing the video. So just the Brady Bunch. Dominiconio, what if you like the single mom's Lunchables? Okay. No, Myron, she did Offset like that and they were married. That shit crazy. She cooked. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. Crisis King says, move to Miami alone. I'm 19, I have my own place, but I don't have nearly as good as results with dating apps as I did in Cali. What's the move, or can I not compete with these ballers? Yeah, you're going to have a tough time, bro, competing with these niggas at a 19-year-old. Robin Kobe, Myron, was Chris giving Adrien Broner vibes last night? Chris is Chris. I'm ready for God to come fix this mess of a world for Mess's Dom. Alboys, 5 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and 8 p.m. for Tuesday, Thursday. The reason why I don't want to do that is because that'll be confusing. Myron, you are 35 and Charlie is 32. Crazy how you guys are so different, W Stream, and fuck that bitch ass nigga from J2 telling you what topics to talk about. Yeah, it's fine. That's why they got banned. Cure me. BFD, bitch been performing the same whack ass songs for 7 years. Facts. Do you think if censorship ramps up, we can use the First Amendment Constitution to protect free speech in the United States? With tech companies, it's different, bro. Please tell your chat there is something called 1350 rule, which actually means 13% of the population. Okay. Jacob. Spaceman. Hey, Myron, do you think we could get into World War III before we have more Americans waking up? It might take that for niggas to wake up. Dia Chow. Guys, and some of you guys are like sending chats on Rumble. Guys, I only read chats on Rumble and other chats. Actually, you know what? Let me get on Entropy from Iron Gains X. I only read it, guys, if it's 10 or up. All right? So the best way to get around that is to join the OSS, guys. OSS is the best way to get around that. Donate $1 and get involved in the show. Dear Child says, I don't want to hear a single word from the West about Muslim immigration when they are trying to kick Muslims out of their own lands and country. Yeah, I mean, Israel creates a lot of the problems in the Middle East, which then leads to more immigration. Literally, that's what it is. A lot of the time. So. All you guys that are donating through Entropy, I'm going to go and read your chats as well. Okay. Ignore what I said. My balls do. It says, in light of your candor over the years, do you honestly think you stand a chance of getting hired as an AT-11 at the FBI? What the fuck are you talking about? Whatever. Who said I was going to get hired by the FBI? Are you talking about being a director? All right, Loose Gun. Hey, my long-time listener, you got me through my work days. I can finally donate live with this new time. Much love from North Dakota. No problem. Jason S. says, hey, Myron, I'm an AI architect working with foundation models. I'm an OSS too. How can I best reach out for adding content to Castle Club courses? Hit up Fresh or Noble. Raja got arrested. Dominicono gives us some breaking news. I knew it was coming, bro.
Why did Israel launch its final ground?
Okay. Raja Jackson, the son of UFC legend Quinton Rampage, was arrested on Thursday for brutally beating down a wrestler. Details here. Yep, here we go. News coming at some point. News coming at some point. They just picked him up today. What's he getting charged with? The son of UFC legend Quinton Rampage Jackson was arrested on Thursday for brutally beating down, blah, blah, blah. He got a felony charged. What's the charge, though? Jail record shows currently still behind bars, being held on a $50,000 bond. Their arrest, of course, stems from that ugly incident. Okay, so we don't know what it is. But it is a felony. This chick is still yapping?
You think this would make the country better when I think something completely different would make the country better. I think that'd be one of the most important things, but I think our whole media apparatus is driven towards kind of like rage baiting and outrage and everything, yeah.
I completely agree. And I know it's hard because people come at you really in a already turned up to 11, but I mean, would you be able to say that going forward you're going to try and assume that some of these Trump supporters do approach it from good faith? Maybe not the ones that are come at you screaming full volume, but the ones like, I don't know if she's still in here, but the girl with the hat, and she had a really like, you know, it ended with I agree. It ended with her saying I agree with you. So I think
Yeah, so like, this sounds condescending, I don't mean to sound that way. I think that most of the people in places like this, I think, are good faith. But that's the reason why I have so much anger for some of the larger conservative figures I debate, because I think that they don't do it in good faith, and I think they're misleading a lot of people intentionally. You know, we argued about Jan 6 earlier in here, and about, you know, people being led into the building. When I debated Owen Schroyer on stage, I bet him $5,000 that the people that broke into the Capitol were Proud Boys first, and he wouldn't take that bet with me on stage. And the reason why is because he knew that he was lying. But I bet there are people in the audience that would take a smaller bet because they're really confident because he sells that lie to them. So yeah, that is something that bothers me a ton. I think that, I mean, my mom and dad are both hardcore MAGA, so I don't think they're bad faith. I don't think they want their country to be destroyed. Yeah, I think that most people on the ground, most people that are listening to media, and, you know, even that aren't absorbed in it 24/7, are coming at it, you know, with some level of good faith. So it's the pundits that drive me the craziest. Yeah.
I agree. Thank you.
Can I bring it out here? Yeah. Okay. You got anything left you want to say?
You guys fuck Benjamin Netanyahu, right?
Agree.
Fuck Benjamin Netanyahu. Fuck this coward that comes up here and wishes for violence on American citizens.
All right,
This
guys.
man does not support free speech or open debate. This is a mockery. Somebody get this guy out of here.
Yeah, thank you. That's one thing we can all agree on, that we want this guy out, MAGA or not.
Like one thing, I mean, I will say, and I hope that people on the right keep this in mind too. Like, I do think we have something really special in the United States where we can all get around and shout at people, and I appreciate. Listen, man, even you know, God bless you. That's great. You know, the next dick I suck, I'm gonna have you in mind when I do it. Okay, so. Listen, I do think it's nice, you know, the guys that are screaming at me over here, hey, I appreciate it. You came out, you shouted at me, you didn't shoot at me. I appreciate it. This guy out here, you know, God bless him. I hope your dog and your family that was here early recording you, you know, God bless you too. So I do appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, we're wrapping up here. Okay, thank you.
The left sees you as an embarrassment.
We're wrapping up. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming. Please visit our website, unfuckamericatour.com. You can donate, sign up to volunteer, and you can start a campus chapter. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I think that's like the Democrat version, chat, of like uncensored America. Is like, this is like the left-wing version of it.
Until how do we make everything perfect? And
yeah,
for political.
Yeah, so I think he did something similar. CSU, I don't know what school this is, but
beliefs in the United States is not good for anybody. I feel like that here exists.
Shout out to Mr. Drippy with the gifted sub. All right, let me read some of these chats. Dragon says, Free Palestine, why do we condemn the genocide in Gaza, but not the one that creates the infrastructure we benefit from in this country? Selective morality sounds hypocritical, and we just like them? What? All right, Black Baron says, tell them about who the Haganah, Erga, and Lehi are, and why they created today's Israel Myron for those who don't know about them. I've talked about them a million times, Black Baron, a million times, bro. We have the same fingernail beds. You think we're bros? What? The hell are you niggas talking about in chat, bro? Hayden says, love your show, Myron. I'm wondering if you know anything about the war in Sudan. Yeah, I've talked about it a bunch of times. I heard it's a large genocide at the moment, but I'm not sure if that's true. Well, it's a big civil war, bro. It's a big civil war. They're killing each other. There's basically the Rapid Support Services versus the Sudanese army, and it's been going on for a very long time after Omar Bashir left power. Well, got arrested. Fresh updates, WSS. Fresh updates, Myron. Every time I watch a Red Pill content, my dog starts barking. Could he possibly be a Jay Mossad agent? Probably. Drew says, yo, Myron, what advice would you give to someone if you want to go debate Michael Knowles at the Turning Point, Prove Me Wrong table? I'm not well-versed, but can bring up good points. What would you recommend? You're cooked, bro. Just don't bother. You're going to embarrass yourself. If you're asking me what are some points, like, dude, you're cooked. You don't understand. You don't fundamentally understand a position that you can like. Here's the thing, bro. To be a good debater, you must be educated on the topic to a degree where it's poison. It's like sickening. Okay, if you just memorize a couple of talking points, what's going to happen is you're going to get cooked, because once you get outside of those talking points, you're not going to have the ability to debate that individual in the open air. Does that make sense? Because inevitably there's going to be a topic that comes up that you're not going to be prepared for, and if you don't know the topic, you're going to just make yourself look stupid. And trying to debate someone like a Michael Knowles or something like that and not knowing what you're doing, you're going to embarrass yourself. So, I mean, you go ahead and try, you know. But if you're asking what advice would you give for someone if they want to go debate Michael Knowles at the Turning Point, prove me wrong table, I'm not well versed. Yeah, you're cooked, bro. You're cooked. If you're not well versed and you just want to go up there to debate, you're going to embarrass yourself. Just keeping it all the way a million with you, bro. But it's fine. Go do it, get your ass kicked, and then learn. I mean, you're not an influencer. You don't got nothing to lose. Just go do it. You know what I mean? He's going to embarrass you, but it'll make you better. So go do it. And you'll see that your weak points immediately. Sway Vision. Yo, Marion, I recently broke up with my girlfriend. She's being pretty petty. What do you think is the best way to get my stuff back? My MacBook Pro and a $1,200 Alpine helmet. Should I just call ICE on her? LMAO. Just get your shit and leave, bro. Just get your shit and get the fuck out of there. If the Gazans are going to be targeted anyways, why not give back the hostages and let the world watch Israel attack them for no reason? Wouldn't it do more reputational damage? Yeah, you're right. You are right. People have said that. That is a strategy. That is an absolute strategy. How'd you guys know Destiny got demonetized, though? I mean, that sucks, bro. YouTube's been demonetizing niggas recently, man. Whoever reported that, how'd you, like, know? Oh. This streamer showing it? Let's see here.
That they're LARPing it all together, right? So unfortunately, I don't have a lot of faith in Congress being able to ask the questions that need to be asked in this situation, right? Congress also has Karens. Yeah, I mean, I get that, but it's a big problem. It's a very big problem. These older people in Congress, they do not understand internet culture.
All right, so if it says the channel memberships feature on Destiny has been paused, so your membership has been paused, we'll let you know when it starts up again so you can resume your current payments. Yeah, that is a sign you've been demonetized. Yeah. Yeah, that's a sign that you got demonetized.
They do not understand the internet in general. They don't understand, right? So how is it that you're going to...
Who the fuck is this nigga, bro? Hypnotic? Okay. So this guy, I can already see, he makes videos on liberals he doesn't like. Well,
you banned him for 24 hours, so yeah. How about that? And it's going to be a massive, massive gaslight. And everybody's just going to be like, what the fuck? Are you serious right now? And then Congress is going to be like, well, okay, you did hold them accountable. They're not going to ask the question, okay, so why is it that you're banning other people for 2 weeks to a month for
Thank you, Baraga. Appreciate that.
calling a girl fat or a girl a whore or anything like that? But the moment Hassan says he wants political bloodshed, you're like, yeah, 24 hours and on his day off. Go relax, Hassan. You weren't going to stream anyway.
All right. Yeah, I mean, when I looked on the stream, it doesn't let you super chat in. So that does tell you that and they paused the memberships. Yeah, he might be demonetized then. Yeah. Bro, that sucks, man. I don't wish demonetization on my worst enemy, bro. I don't wish it on my worst enemy, bro. It really blows, and it's very frustrating. It fucking sucks, bro. Getting demonetized. It really does. Don't wish it upon my worst enemy, dude. Luckily, we've been able to, circumvent it. right? And, well, not circumvented directly, but I mean, like, we've been able to build up parallel structures where we're not relying upon YouTube AdSense because it's so dodgy. But yeah, dude, this is why you can't, like, if you're gonna do political commentary of any kind, you can't rely on YouTube, bro. You really can't. Like, unless you're like Mr. Beast making content for kids, like, YouTube is just not. It's just not safe, bro. Because some weirdo in Silicon Valley could be like, oh, I don't like this guy, I'm just gonna turn off his monetization, and then bam, just like that, they fuck up your livelihood. And the problem is that they don't have to justify it. They don't have to have a reason. They can just dislike you, bro, and it's over. Shout out to Red Pill Clippers. Shout out to you for the 5 gifted. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Matter of fact, I should just get off YouTube right now, bro. Honestly, I fucking hate this platform anyway, if I'm gonna be honest. Niggas demonetize people for no fucking reason, bro. Yeah, we're gonna get ready to get off this thing soon. Speaking of Middle East, let's talk real quick. Israel's been bombing Lebanon, even though there's a ceasefire. What else is new?
Well, turning to some breaking news at the moment, it is the Israeli armed forces once again making headlines here. And what it really is that they have begun bombing positions in southern Lebanon shortly after issuing forced evacuation orders for residents there. As plumes of smoke can be seen over homes, Lebanon's prime minister is calling for maximum pressure on Israel to stop its attacks. Israel has kept up its strikes on southern Lebanon despite a ceasefire which was signed in November. Zaina Khaled joins us live from Beirut. And Zaina, it was not very much noticed, this evacuation order. I only saw it about, an hour ago, if not much less than that. And suddenly these bombs have started falling.
Yes, the Israeli army has begun to carry out airstrikes on a number of locations in southern Lebanon. Like you mentioned, the evacuation orders issued approximately an hour ago. We saw mass evacuations, people leaving villages because the evacuation warnings were posted on social media, and they marked the buildings that they plan to hit in 3 villages, 4 buildings in 3 villages, in villages really that are densely populated. So we saw people.
Guys, do me a favor. Smash that like button on YouTube. Let's get to 3,000 likes. Also, we're going to cover some 9/11 stuff as well with the documentary. So, smash that like button for me, if you guys don't mind. Talia with the big $50 super chat, thank you so much, says, do you think that Palestine will ever realistically be free from Israel? And what does free look like? Because technically Israel is also their land. Free is going to be either a 2-state solution or a 1-state solution where they acclimate and bring the Palestinians in as citizens. As far as Gaza, they're going to get them out of there. They're going to send them to Libya, Jordan, Egypt. They're going to get them out of there, or pay them out. So when it comes to Gaza, bro, Gaza's cooked. Unfortunately, they're going to 100% do an ethnic cleansing. That's why they're destroying it, so it's uninhabitable. OAV says, have you seen the video of the Charlie Kirk show with Megyn Kelly that just dropped? Erica Kirk got a call after the event that she knows everything. Ian Carroll just dropped it on X. No, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'll take a look. Myron, sorry to bother. Just wanted to shout out my girl real quick. She got me a bunch of OSS merch for my birthday. Cool Assassins. She's watching with me right now. Watch OSS and FNF religiously. All right, cool. No worries, man. Shout out to you guys. I forgot to ask during the hearing with Kash Patel, do you think Kash was appointed FBI director just for being a federal prosecutor? Can he handle the issues of Epstein files being released? No, he was appointed because he's a Trump loyalist, as many other people in the cabinet. Pam Bondi, Kristi Noem. A lot of these people, Pete Hegseth, a lot of these people aren't qualified for their positions, chat, if I want to be honest. They got appointed because they're loyal, because Trump learned his lesson from the first administration. Hey, just want to let you know to check out Nate over at Valhalla VFT. He is a former Green Beret and gave his 2 cents on the whole Charlie Kirk assassination. Don't know who that is. LAPD said it was looking at it as a felony battery against Raja, so I'm assuming they charged him with assault, probably. Myron Barbarossa, fat people he sees in that video with Destiny, especially the fat woman and her husband. Not gonna watch it. You seen this BLM movement retards in NYC chanting F Charlie Kirk? Yeah, bro. People are weird, man.
People pack whatever they could and make their way to safer areas. Israel continuously targets Lebanon despite that November cessation of hostilities agreement, near daily attacks. But most of those attacks are pinpoint strikes. They target vehicles, motorcycles. They target what they call Hezbollah members and assets. But like I mentioned, these strikes, these buildings are in densely populated areas. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of
Mind you, they signed a ceasefire that they were supposed to honor last year, and they're not honoring it all.
concern and fear. People are worried that Israel intends to escalate its attacks. The Lebanese Prime Minister Nawaf Salam calling on the international community, in particular the sponsors of that ceasefire agreement, among them the United States, to pressure Israel to stop these attacks and to withdraw from positions that it still holds within Lebanese territory along the border, as well as to release prisoners. In the words of the Prime Minister, Israel's policy is one of intimidation and aggression, and that Lebanon has fulfilled the terms of the ceasefire agreement while Israel has not. So airstrikes have begun across southern Lebanon. I can tell you people are very concerned, whether or not we are going to see an escalation as more pressure is put on Lebanon, really, to disarm Hezbollah. Israel has made it clear it will not stop these attacks until the Lebanese state, the army, takes practical steps to fully disarm Hezbollah.
Don't miss out. Get the full picture.
So, ramping up the campaign, man, everywhere else, as expected. Also, look at this. 14 against 1 at the UNSC yet again, and the U.S. vetoes resolution on Gaza. U.S. been doing this forever, bro, running political cover for these guys. Guys, also, do me a favor. 2,100 likes, 3,400 you guys watching. I need you guys to like the goddamn video. I'm pausing the video until we hit 3,000. We need 3,000 likes right now. Let's go. 3,000. Show's being paused. $3,000, guys. Show's being held in hostage. 3,000 likes, goddammit. 3,000. Bro, we're only at 24, guys? What the hell is going on, man? Come on, ninjas. Now I got Andy here.
Vote.
He's helping out with some stuff behind the scenes. The guy helped me build up the studio.
On a resolution tabled by multiple countries, some of whom will be speaking now in the wake of that vote. A single country has voted against that resolution that demanded an immediate, unconditional and permanent ceasefire in Gaza, as well as the immediate and unconditional release of all the captives.
Shout out to Anonymous with the one gifted. Appreciate you, my friend.
And that country is the United States, the U.S. representative there.
Yeah, guys, if we don't get the likes up, we are going to end the stream and go right to Rumble, guys. I mean, we're going to go to Rumble no matter what and kick. But come on, guys. Let's get those likes up. Support the channel. I'm on here for free for you guys. I should have been got off YouTube a long-ass fucking time ago. Lose a lot of money to stream on this bitch-ass platform. So if we don't get the likes up, I'm just going to get off this shit.
Morgan Ortega saying
does not benefit me whatsoever to be on this platform, to be honest with you. I lose money being on this piece of shit fucking platform.
That the United States, Donald Trump himself, believes that a resolution of this kind wrongly legitimizes the false narratives of Hamas. After that vote, some impassioned words by the Algerian representative Amar Benjama, who said multiple times, "Forgive us, forgive us, forgive us." He said that humanity itself, in the wake of a rejected resolution like this.
What the hell? Total Homegrown sent pack it up? What is that? What does that mean, chat? I've never seen that before in my life. It's like a fucking... It's a new kick thing? A cheer, a kick new feature? Okay. Well, Total Homegrown, I appreciate that. I didn't even know what it's a cheer on kick? Okay. Okay, Total Homegrown gifted 1,000 kicks. Interesting. I'm going to look that up. So it's basically a cheer like on Twitch.
Rejected squarely by the United States.
Thank you for that, Total Homegrown. I appreciate that, man.
Meant that humanity itself was diminished. Listening into all of that, of course, is James Bays, our diplomatic editor. James, we always knew the United States would stand against this. I wonder what...
And we've been doing this for a long-ass time, bro. We always stop... we always support Israel when it comes to covering for them diplomatically at the UN and everything else like that and keep them from accountability of their fucking reckless foreign policy. Okay, there was something else I wanted to cover.
Purpose it serves.
Hey, shout out to you, Aaron Valdez, for the $50. Subscribe for 50. Appreciate you, Aaron.
Well, it's certain.
And guys, if you guys want to go ahead and get involved and help me fight demonetization from YouTube, just use the code Jews did 9/11. Okay, I'm running the promo while I'm still going to be reacting to the Empire Unmasked on OSS.
He doesn't serve the people of Gaza. A sixth time the U.S. have used their veto in nearly 2 years now in the Security Council, blocking things that would be vital for the people of Gaza, most notably a ceasefire, which was one of the very first things listed in this resolution. As you say, a resolution drawn up out of 15 Security Council members by 10 of them. The ambassador of Somalia speaking, he was one of them, the 10 that are the non-permanent members, but also supported by all the permanent members, apart from one, the US. So 14 against 1, yet again, is the way it's stacked up in the Security Council. Morgan Ortega's
14 against 1, bro. We're always running cover for these motherfuckers. And just so you guys know, this happens all the time. So now you guys know. Anyway, let's get into this. So check this out. I am pleased to inform our many USA patriots. And guys, we're going to get into the main stuff here. We're going to get into Jimmy Kimmel, and we're going to get into Candace Owens and this stuff here very soon. So, I am pleased to inform our many USA patriots that I am designating Antifa a sick, dangerous, radical left disaster as a major terrorist organization, President Trump. Bro, about damn time. I've been telling you guys about Antifa for a minute, that they need to be put on a terrorist watch list or some type of list, right? And for those of you that don't know, we got a lot of foreign people here. What is Antifa? Well, this is what Antifa is right here. Antifa is a left-wing anti-fascist and anti-racist political movement in the United States. It consists of a highly decentralized array of autonomous groups that use nonviolent direct action. That's a lie. They definitely use violence or violence to achieve their aims. There you go. Antifa political activism includes nonviolent methods such as poster and flyer campaigns, mutual aid, speeches, protest marches, and community organizing. Some who identify as Antifa also use tactics involving digital activism, doxing, harassment, physical violence, and property damage. Supporters of the movement aim to combat far-right extremists, including neo-Nazis and white supremacists. So, yeah, these people, bro, do a whole bunch of fucking bullshit. I'm glad that Trump finally put them on the goddamn target list to be targeted as a criminal organization, because that's what they are, doing a whole bunch of fucking bullshit.
And well, Donald Trump was talking about really making sure we tone down the violence. And if you are going to be violent, then you could be put in a category of a terrorist. And he said the Antifa is sick and dangerous, and Antifa will be designated a major terrorist organization. He said, I'm pleased to inform our many USA patriots that I am designating Antifa a sick, dangerous, radical left disaster as a major terrorist organization. I will also be strongly recommending that those funding Antifa will be thoroughly investigated in accordance with the highest legal standards and practices. Thank you for your attention on this matter.
Now they need to make BLM a fucking terrorist organization too, man.
So 2 things on this. First of all, this is long overdue. It's not just an ideology. If you remember the Summer of Love, that was many of those people were Antifa.
And he talked about doing it then.
That's exactly right. And now he's back in the presidency. He's making it happen. They're domestic terrorists. They set things on fire. They assault cops, and there was no consequences. The second thing about this that makes it so important, now that they're a domestic terrorist organization, now you can go after the people that are funding it, the RICO cases. And many people have said George Soros.
It took Charlie Kirk getting assassinated for people to finally put pressure on Antifa. That should tell you guys something, bro. Because one of the things that these assholes try to say is they try to say, oh, well, right-wing groups are way more violent than left-wing groups. The reason for that, guys, is because right-wing groups are way more aggressively targeted by the police and law enforcement than left-wing groups are. Now that Antifa is finally designated as a terrorist group, law enforcement can actually target these guys and go after them. Okay? That is a big reason why these right-wing groups there were more right-wing violence arrests. But it's because they never went after Antifa in these organizations, even though they should.
Let's evaluate him and all his Open Society and all of these organizations that are funding these underground groups.
When Christopher Wray came out and said Antifa is an ideology, it's not a group, we're about to find out if he's wrong or right. Because we don't really have a category for domestic terrorist organizations. Al-Qaeda comes here in our country. Right. They're a terrorist organization, but it's a foreign organization in our country. So this is new. Number 2, these pasty-faced kids that go into Starbucks and wreck the place in Seattle and Portland, I would like to see you sit these kids down. Usually a lot of them are overprivileged, and you sit there and go, who funded you? How much you getting paid? Who did it? And just build it like that. Who's the one who called you? How did you guys form? Why do you all wear black? And then you find out what's behind it. And I think it's going to go to a certain funding. These guys aren't rioting for free. They're all getting paid. That's why it's important.
Well, real quickly before we move on, to your point, you're right, Brian, that we don't have the domestic terrorism in that sense. But the past administration, they were looking at mom groups. I know. They were talking.
Guys, smash the like button. We're at 2,600. Let's get to 29. Let's get to 2,900.
Talking about, by the way, we got new revelations about them targeting Turning Point, FBI, going after them. Pro-life groups, they were labeling them as domestic terror. By the way, there was no evidence of this happening. White supremacist groups that they were claiming in the military and all that as domestic terrorism. They did investigation, didn't find anything on it. These people actually set things on fire.
Well, Antifa is short for anti-fascist, and it's a violent group. They're in the shadows. They wear these masks, and then they go in and they spark violent riots.
So meanwhile, President Trump announcing plans to designate Antifa as a terrorist organization, saying this, quote, I am pleased inform our many USA patriots that I'm designating Antifa as a sick, dangerous, radical left disaster, as a major terrorist organization. I will also be strongly recommending that those funding Antifa be thoroughly investigated in accordance with the highest legal standards and practices. Fox News contributor Ben Dominance joins us now. Ben, they're not just an ideology, they're a violent group. This was the right move, right?
Well, yes, it was. Lawrence, I will caution that,
I think it was the right move 100%, bro. I've been screaming about this for years. Guys, smash that like button. 26, we're at 2662. Let's get to 2900, ninjas.
this is a move that the president actually made near the end of his term in 2020, though at the time that he made it, there wasn't really the opportunity to lean into it the way that I believe this second administration is going to.
Idiot in the YouTube chat says, you say you hate demonetization, but you just cheered for job losses for liberals. Screw Destiny. Actually, I didn't cheer for job losses for liberals. What I did say, however, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit, is liberals that want conservatives to die being in positions of trust. So we're going to talk about that as well when it comes to this whole freedom of speech thing. All right, and Jimmy Kimmel. We are going to talk about that. So hold your horses, you big fucking retard, because we're going to talk about this very deeply.
Namely that Antifa, to your point, is not just some vague ideology, as we were told by Christopher Wray and others at the time.
Right.
It's actually an organized group, and they've performed organized activity across the country in attacking, multiple different places, cities and facilities, including most recently in North Texas, where someone attacked an ICE facility there. This is a situation where you have these domestic terror cells that are organizing online, and they deserve to be investigated, particularly when it comes to the financial backing that they receive, which really has been a black box to this point. We deserve to know more about how they're getting funded.
Ben, why do you think there was hesitance from the politicians as well as not the rank and file law enforcement because they know it, but the political appointee law enforcement to do this?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that one of the things that has been an item of awareness for quite a long time is that this last administration under Joe Biden leaned heavily into targeting various conservative groups, Christian groups, and the like.
Here's to the cheese. Israel always plays the Uno reverse card. Thank you so much, bro, for the big $100 super chat. Thank you very much, bro. Thank you very much. Guys, smash that like button. User says, hey, man, I have a question if that's cool. People say the war started on October 7, 2023, like Vivid, but some say 1948 or something. I don't know what's true and why. I want to be on the proper history. I've talked about this extensively, but the war started back in 1917 with the Balfour Declaration. Vivid is a fucking retard, and he's a dumb G, and he doesn't understand anything. And the common talking point that that Israelis and Zionists always use is they say, oh, Hamas started this war on October 7th. What they fail to tell you is that this war started way before 2023. Now, I went and did a completely and super detailed video on this topic in particular with October 7th and what's happened after, if you want. It's up on my channel, and I'll show you real quick how to find it. You just go here on YouTube, bam, right? Come over to my channel. Then you click videos. And then you scroll down a bit. This video right here. Why the Iran-Israel war is inevitable. Every escalation, right? Oh, and in this video, it's about 28 minutes long, but it covers in intimate detail everything that led up to the conflict on October 7th. Now, I started 2018, so I can give you guys a modern situation on what the fuck is going on, right? Because they tried peaceful protests in 2018. Those failed, all right? But the war really started with the Balfour Declaration, if I'm going to be all the way honest with you. And the Balfour Declaration, for those of you that aren't aware, because I do know that we got new people coming in here every day. And honestly, there's not many people that give this type of information on YouTube because most people don't want to talk about this topic because it gets you banned. But yes, the Balfour Declaration is a public statement issued by the British government in 1917 during the First World War announcing its support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. So anytime someone sits there and tries to tell you, oh, Palestine doesn't exist, you just show them this document, tell them to shut the fuck up. Because right here within this very document, what is this? Palestine right here. Okay? Literally, Palestine right there. All right? So These Zionists are fucking idiots and don't even understand their own history. That's why I smoke them all the time. Which, by the way, I think I am going to debate Destiny maybe this Saturday on Israel-Palestine. I might live stream it, guys, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think we're going to debate. Let me look here. Okay, so yeah, we are going to debate 8 p.m. Saturday. Me and Destiny are going to debate Israel and Palestine. Someone said El Collab. Bro, get the fuck out my shit, bro. Get the fuck out my shit, bro. Holy shit, you niggas are annoying, bro. Holy shit, bro. Fucking annoying. Bitch ass niggas in the chat. It's a debate, bro. It's a debate. What the fuck? Yeah, I think Saturday, 8 p.m. Someone said don't platform him. Whatever, dude. You debate? Oh, bro, why are you platforming him? You don't debate? Oh, you're scared. What the fuck is wrong with people, bro? It's a fucking debate, man. Holy shit, man. It's like you can't win with these niggas, bro. But yeah, to answer your question, bro, this is what started the war, in my opinion. I start in 1917 with the Balfour Declaration. Someone said Myron completely abandoned free speech. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Bro, get the... Yo, man, niggas are stupid, bro. Why do I got so many idiots that watch me? Holy shit, bro. Got so many fucking idiots that watch my content, man. What the fuck are you talking about? Abandoning free speech.
For all sorts of investigation, really, I think in many instances, abusing their power and framing them falsely as white supremacist groups and the like. And I think that this administration is basically saying, look, you took your eye off the ball. Those groups were never a threat to the American people. They never represented an actual violent threat. And instead, you persecuted them. We're now going to use the full force of the law to go after the people who really do represent violent threats across the country. And I think this is part of a stepped-up attitude. And frankly, if Democrats want to defend Antifa and go down that road, as I saw David Axelrod and others suggesting this was going to, be some kind of political witch hunt.
Incredible.
I think that, more power to them. I think it's absolutely detestable. And the truth is that anyone who wants law, order, and a non-chaotic streets in our cities across the country should be in favor of knowing more about what Antifa is doing before they do it.
Yeah, they had no problem arresting the praying grandma in the Capitol, but the people that are setting buildings on fire. Let's not go too far. Ben Dominus, thanks so much for joining.
Good to be with you.
I'm Steve Doocy. I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to...
All right. Run up for us. Check Twitter, mod chat. All right. Take a look at it after. Jacob07 is a bitch. He's talking shit in chat. I sent him the Addy and my name too. What the fuck? Okay. Why are you guys fighting in the chat? BLM should be a terrorist group since the KKK is. If you're not going to do BLM, then the KKK shouldn't be either. Yeah, do both or none. I agree with you on that. Queso Tucci says Kyle Rittenhouse was not wrong. Yep, they tried to kill him too. Yeah, it's Kick's new bid system. 1,000. 10,000 kicks is 1050. All right. King Benjamin, go ahead, Myron. Let's move past these penny pinchers and JTube. Yeah, bro, I'm about to get off this shit. You ever take creatine? And if so, what is the best time to take it? Take it anytime. 5 to 10 grams a day, every day. Queso 2 cheese, he's back. Okay. But yeah, that's when I started my history, bro. 1917. Man, you ever heard about the NAAKG plan that left Provo Airport? No. Adam, thank you, Myron, for keeping up the hard work and streaming every night. Appreciate that, bro. Yeah, it's really annoying dealing with retards in chat, but whatever. Obviously it comes with the territory. You start to expand, you grow your platform. Idiots are going to come in and do dumb shit because they don't understand. So yeah. King Benjamin, fuck J2, bro. These brokies join OSS. Much love from Orem, Utah. Appreciate that. All right, Osmond Gold's dad. Yeah, I heard that his father passed away, man. Obviously, that's horrible. Losing your dad is never easy. Rest in peace, his father. Immigration judge of Louisiana has ordered the deportation of Mahmoud Khalli. Really? Holy. That is wild.
Next story we've been following since his arrest by ICE.
Kumo, thank you for that news. Let's definitely check this out. For those of you that don't know who Mahmoud Khalli is, Mahmoud Khalli was a Columbia student, I think grad student, who is Palestinian, and but I think he has a citizenship in Syria or one of these places. Shout out to Red Pill Clippers with the gifted sub. Appreciate you. He basically got arrested by ICE agents last year for being involved in the Columbia protests against Israel and the war. And basically, they arrested him for, basically free speech, bro. And it looks like he's getting deported.
Agents on March 8th. We have an update. An immigration judge is ordering the deportation of former Columbia graduate student.
Or earlier this year. I said last year. Sorry. He was a part of the protest from last year, but they arrested him earlier this year once Trump got into office. And there's been very strict anti-Semitism laws that they've been using to go after people that are critical of Israel, especially foreign nationals.
Khalil.
All right, lawyers for the pro-Palestinian protesters say they will appeal this decision, but it seems like a real possibility. Good day's Haley Fixler. She's here now with all these details. Haley, what's going on?
Good morning, Dan Tijani. Well, these court documents were just filed yesterday. The federal immigration judge says that Khalil hid information on his U.S. green card application, and she's ordering him to be sent back to Algeria or Syria.
Oh, wow. So he might have citizenship with both, which is why they're saying that. So they looked through his immigration file, and he might have not been honest all the way on his green card application. And as you guys know, well, you guys might not know this. His wife is an American citizen, and they have an American citizen child. She actually gave birth to the child, I think, while he was in jail.
So let's break this.
Shout out to Red Pill Clippers with the gifted sub. Appreciate you, my friend. All right, guys, let's go ahead and switch over. We've been on for YouTube for 3 hours now, so come on over. And I'll also cover, you guys are asking me about this Ian Carroll stuff.
Next story we've been following since his arrest by ICE agents on March 8th. We have an update. An immigration judge is ordering the deportation.
Is it on YouTube or is it on Twitter? Might be on Twitter then. All right, somebody send me a link about this Ian Carroll video that you guys want me to react to. But yeah, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to end the YouTube stream here, guys. Come on over. Smash that like button. It's about that time. Tired of fucking YouTube. I always get retards in the chat that annoy me. Lower IQ people always come from YouTube every single fucking time. I get it. The discovery is awesome. People find me and shit like that. But then I realize, holy shit, these niggas are retarded. And they're not familiar with the content. And they're, obviously saying the stupid shit that they say because they think I'm one of these retarded streamers with 50 IQ. But that's not what it is.